Welcome back to the main event this weekend, obviously Formula SimRacing World Championship with all the top names as we are used to see. We are not yet in Q1, we are about to start the session, but being the drivers are able to warm up their spirits and moods, get everything sorted and give us the best show possible. Isn't that right, Jeroen?
It is right. It's the 5th round of the Thrustmaster Formula SimRacing 2015 World Championship, and I think it could be quite an interesting day today, with many drivers indeed from the top category driving around this track.
And what a day it is going to be. David Greco is not starting from the pit lane or from back of the grid again. I don't think we have anyone with a back of the grid penalty for the time being, so we're gonna see an all-out Q1 session. Peter the dance with a 16.170, always fast, but I'm sure that won't be fast enough since we already saw 115s in the lower categories, and it's basically the grip level. The track has to be rubbered in quite severely before we some confident 115s. But I do think it's the main aiming point for these guys. Maybe 115.5, something like that is to be expected.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Chris. There are a lot of drivers who actually complained yesterday and today as well in Pro that the grip level on the server is considerably lower than the grip they have on their servers, but that's the way it is, and I think it is quite good actually, the way it builds up during qualifying 1 and even the so. Yeah, I kind of like it, but it's indeed the case that there is quite a bit less grip available to you in those first couple of laps when you just enter the server.
Quite right, quite right. 5 minutes and we will move into the Q1 session, is Mr. President telling us. Obviously so fun, Christopher Cobb being an American. I'm just like to call him Mr. President. Not as black as Obama though, but that doesn't matter. Jim Paris is 15.883 and never mind that so far. Lots of these guys aren't showing the back of their tongues, I'm sure, because these times that we see here are similar to the Pro Series earlier today, which had a remarkable new winner. Or didn't
really?
It, Jeroen? Oh no, you won again! Oh, so boring.
Yeah, I'm very sorry, but...
Was it boring in your perspective as well?
Oh no, because you start from 5th, so you know, it's a little bit of a different story.
Yeah, you had a horrible Q2 lap actually.
Yeah, true.
Oh. No, but still 5 out of 5, great job from you. We have seen some variety of winners this year in WC. Unfortunately, Mohammed Patel got cheated out of his win in China, since he literally blew up 1.5 or 2 kilometers before the finish line. Absolutely dominated that race, and well, there you go. That's racing as well. Obviously, we remember Mika Hakkinen in '99 in Barcelona or 2000, one of those two, where he blew up the last lap as well, having a gigantic lead over Schumacher back then. New round, new chances. I've spoken with Patel earlier this weekend, and he tipped Peter Briljak for the win this race. He was definitely right in Bahrain. I hope that Patel isn't right this time around, because, you know, I want to see something else than the twisters, to be honest. But they're so incredibly quick. I mean, do you think someone else would stand a chance to spoil the fun of twister today, Jeroen?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's one person, and he is an Aussie, so you might know it already, Chris.
Mark Webber?
No, not him. No.
Okay.
No, not him. I think, to be honest, I spoke personally with Johnny Simon quite a bit, saw what kind of progress he made around the track. He's feeling rather confident here. And I think he has got some good pace, but he also had good pace in quite a few rounds before this one, but never really managed to perform while he had to. I hope he doesn't have that issue today and can show the best he has got.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't have flawless races, didn't he? I mean, he made some errors along the way, showing tremendous pace.
He got taken out by someone in Australia. I don't know. Yeah.
pro noob guy, I don't
Yes,
know, Kweekel or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was his name.
But yeah, nevertheless, that happens, dude. Dion Kostadinov, however, showing a surprising pace of 15.7. No offense, Dion, but I wouldn't put you in my top 5 for this weekend. It would be 4 twisters, to be honest, and 1 Cuba Brzezinski or whatever. But yeah, Cuba Brzezinski is taking it slow for the moment. For his sakes, it's 16.4 for him, which puts him on P15 for the moment, for the time being. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting qualifier. Obviously, the track is it's not a track where you would see huge difference in terms of lap times, I suppose, and I do think it will be tightly packed in the top 5 and maybe even the top 10.
Yeah, I do agree with you. It will be interesting to see what kind of downforce levels these teams have been going with. In my opinion, a low downforce really help you in the race, also with overtaking. In Ace, we saw a lot of drivers running very similar downforce setups. I don't really know what it was like in Pro, but I certainly had quite a low downforce setup and was able to get by a lot of drivers quite easily when they were in my way. So, you know, but obviously it compromised my qualifying as well, my qualifying time, but that's a sacrifice you make. Do you sacrifice the starting position but be strong probably for 70 laps in the race? You know, the choice is up to you.
Yeah, definitely. And when are we going to see you in WC, Jeroen? Because you're walking the championship at the moment in Pro. I mean, WC would be the next logical step, and just skip Ace, you know. And you know, isn't that an option for this year for you to go to WC?
It might be an option for this year, but definitely not full time. You know, maybe a one-off here and there, but. Yeah, I still have nightmares about the Australia race. So.
Yeah, well, so if you want to give, if you want to delete the nightmares of Jeroen Kweekel, I'm sure he will be able to race for 25 euros a month. Hello, GoSpeed, stealing away your driver to the highest bidder. No, but yeah, it's something. I mean, you are worthy though. Who is worthy as well is Patrick De Witt, who is doing a 15.7. Putting his car into P2. Obviously it's just warm-up times, warm-up before the qualification, basically, practice time. But yeah, it is saying something in my opinion. I mean, why would you, if you have the chance to practice that, you know, extra bit of qualify laps before we start in 1 minute, why would you take it a little bit slower? I mean, nobody's gonna adjust their setups with 1 minute before qualification, so.
Absolutely, and also can give a driver quite a bit of confidence, putting some quick laps in here, showing what you have got, and carry that momentum forwards,
yeah,
or with you into the qualifying sessions. But indeed, De Witt looking quite strong. He's been practicing quite a bit, I believe, around this track. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do.
Yeah, did a lot of practice races. I guarantee it. He did a lot, like 4 or 5 races, simulation races. So, I mean, might be normal for some people at the moment. For me, it's it's definitely something special. You don't want to get crashed out of turn 1 if you spend 10 or 15 hours trying to get some pace into your car and confidence to create the best result possible. If it's gone after 1 corner, then that's really messed up. However, the light is turning green as the statue of Kimi Raikkonen is watching outside of the pit exit lane. For some of you who have this version of Montreal, Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, you would know that the Raikkonen is standing and keeping a watchful eye in the pit lane. Yeah, without any sad and bad jokes, it's again a twister who's out on first. It's Patel, isn't it? Yeah, Patel trying to be the first guy with a banker lap, and definitely on edge. And why wouldn't he be? I mean, he obviously feels like he can win a race this season. He's shown some tremendous progress in the past year. I mean, from being a ace front runner to be a well, podium and even a race winning contestant in WC. Now he just needs to put the crown on his work, and he will have a lot more confidence and maybe turn into a title contender eventually. He certainly has the potential.
That will start his lap right here. As you have mentioned, Chris, he was first out on track, so this will be the first benchmark here of this qualifying one session. Approaching the first corner, slowing it down to second gear. Going a bit deep into that, Chris didn't look all that tidy. Compromised his line a little bit through turn 2, putting the power down nicely low as he runs down to turn 3.
Yeah, but never count them out. There's always something behind the lines of the Twister guys. I mean, his first sector time, what will it be? It's a 21.3, so that's decent, definitely for a banker lap. Let's see how the rest is responding to that.
Because he went 2 hundredths quicker, was right behind Patel, so we'll keep an eye out on that. As Patel touched the wall there slightly on the exit of turn 9, heading down to the hairpin. Now this is an important corner. Need to get a very good run out of this corner. He uses first gear, then probably goes up to second gear right there for the exit. Stable exit.
Yeah, didn't we, the first gear uses?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, in China specifically, in that long, stupid Tilke corner, it's reasonably okay, but you know, that it's Tilke corner. I mean, they're always up with their gearing, and it brings him a 1:15.9. Bigazzi instantly dives under that with an 8.60, and Johnny Simon, you've talked about him earlier, 15.7 for him. Little bit of a fail there for Axi Kivala with a 17.4, and then the usual suspects come over the line. Conti with a 15.8, Simoncic 15.7, and Brzezinski now 16.3 as well. So I don't know if we will see Kuba Brzezinski challenging a podium yet again, but let's see.
Early days to judge, still 6 minutes to go in Q1. We'll see what he can do. It's always nice to have some kind of banker lap as well, but definitely a 16.3 isn't a lap which will bring you a lot of confidence. But you know, he has time enough. We'll see what he can do, and never count him out, obviously. So after those first couple of runs, people are still completing lap times. Dian Kostadinov in first, so he does look like a pretty strong driver here around this track.
Did you say first or third?
Third.
Yeah, no, okay, fair enough. Otherwise, I missed something. Patrick DeWitt puts his car onto P10, being the do or die zone. 16.060. Definitely expected a little bit quicker from WC, but the track will rubber in and it will give 1 or 2 extra tenths, I'm sure. But quite similar to the times we've seen in Ace and Pro.
Yeah, of course, but also remember that it's a relatively short track, so there isn't as much time you can gain. A lot of straights around this track as well, so it is not easy to gain like half a second on someone, that's for sure.
No. Well, I find it easy to lose half a second to some of you drivers, but that's a different story, is it?
I think it is, Chris.
I think it is, but yeah, indeed. Johnny Simon still leading this dance. And should feel confident, but it's just 2.5 tenths to P10. Like you said, the margins are small, but yeah, it's all so close that one little exit or turn in or whatever apex speed will give you some more positions if you are willing to do it. Obviously, we have the wall of champions here, the last corner here, and the last chicane of the circuit, and what a corner it is. I do think we would see a lot of action in that first DRS zone, because it's basically the only real opportunity on the track to overtake with DRS. But enough for that now. We have to focus on qualify, and we have. Yeah, Patel is going quite fast indeed. 15.765. Peter Brilliak, there he goes, 15.6, and Johnny Simon instantly answers. He's having none of that. 6.23 compared to the 6.89 of Brilliak. So Johnny is really looking promising. Good to see.
Johnny Simoncic also crossing the line. He had an improvement in the second sector. I don't think if it is, no, it is indeed not an improvement on his lap time, which was there before.
Ooh, and a pit incident. People are crashing with each other. Johnny Simon is blocking off and almost making contact with Patel. What are we seeing? They're battling it out, but no, some drivers made contact and in the pit, but Francesco Bigazzi takes P1 15.5. Great job from him. If we can go on board with Johnny Simon, he has to let the car pass, and he's going back to the pit. This is really frustrating for him. Jim Paris is completing a lap, 15.804. Would have put him in P4, P5 a few minutes ago. It's now only, so to speak, only P8. And Kure Brzezinski now 15.927. That's the cutoff. Blair Disley is oh so close. And a big surprise to see David Greco out in P12. He still has some time remaining, and I shouldn't be all too worried. He's pressing escape again though. Seems like he's running into some difficulties at the moment. Definitely a name who I favor to be at least in Q2. I mean, he was basically one of the fastest guys in the end of last year, beating Morant and Huis occasionally.
Carlos Martin is doing a good job at the moment. Personal improvement in the first sector, also in the second sector pretty quick with a 0.4. A little bit untidy on the exit of the hairpin, but nothing too serious, as he will open up his DRS and probably reach about 325 kilometers an hour, and then slow it all the way down to second gear, something like 100 kph, even a little bit less perhaps. 120. Okay.
Takes the chicane into third gear though.
Yeah, and it was pretty quick. Looked very stable as well.
That's surprising. Well, it brings him a 7th spot, knocks Mohamed Patel down to 8th, and Jim Paris is on to 9th. But Jim is going on to the start-finish line, and I don't know if he will improve, but he's certainly aiming for it.
He's not on the lap, I think.
Isn't he? Oh, then he's looking really determined. My bad for the hype. No problems there, though.
Well, there's still a hype because he is in 9th place. It would be rather good for him if he could improve with Brzezinski a 10th behind him. But the field being really close at the moment. 4 drivers in 15.9. So nice to see that.
Yeah, and Twister for a change is having a little bit difficulties, or is having some difficulties this afternoon into Q1. Not Peter Briljak by the looks of it, but Mohamed Patel on P7 and Jim Paris is on P9. Because the differences are so close, it's not really surprising, but it's not feeling usual, since they have always been easy to go towards Q2. This time they have to fight every inch of the way for it, and that's good for us. Thomas Satterley now, P10, knocks Kure Brzezinski out, but he gets knocked out again by, who was it? Whoa, a lot of things are changing now.
It was Brzezinski.
Yeah, and Simončić is having a great lap, and Disley, great job from Blair Disley here. And now we find Jim Paris is on P11. He still has to go.
He will get it. He will get it, I think. He had a good lap so far. Final sector, DRS wide open. Will he get it? I think he will. Yeah. Good lap.
Well, there we go, Jim. Nice job from you. Really steady lap, delivering under pressure. But now, obviously, Mohamed Patel's under pressure on P10. Carlos Martin is just starting his last lap. Thomas Satterley is done with his qualification. David Greco is crossing the start-finish line now, and he will not do it. David Greco ends his session for at least on P13. Hopefully for him he can improve. And Mohamed Patel here crossing the start-finish line in order to set his last attempt, in order to get a clean safe area. And again, within 10 seconds he makes sure he's the last guy to make a run out of it. We've seen it every time from Mohamed Patel. He's always the last guy into Q1 who goes out for a flying lap. Absolute stunning timing. So a lot of these guys are feeling confident. Jeroen Simončić is in the pit, Disley is in the pit, Kostadinov, Conti is still out, Brzezinski is in the pit as well. That's surprising with him on P9. Carlos Martin aborted this lap, unfortunately for him, and that means there's people who are able to improve and can still spoil the party of Bigazzi in Q1 is shrinking. Saxon is still on the way, Patrick de Witt is still on the way, and Leitner is coming on now, but he will not improve.
Jon-Erik Saxon and Patrick de Witt are quite close. A personal improvement in the first sector, but not in the second sector. It's all about the final sector. Those are the only guys who can still knock Mohamed Patel from the 10th spot. Here comes Jon-Erik Saxon round the chicane, bouncing over those curves.
But first de Witt.
The DRS.
Will de Witt do it?
P1.
Jon-Erik Saxon manages to climb up to P13. De Witt is a little bit frustrated with his performance. Mohamed Patel P5, good job from him. And Conti is jumping to P3, so really great job from him. And Brzezinski managed to stay into the top 10. So close calls here, close calls. Carlos Martin will be really frustrated, just shy of P10. But yeah, that's the way Cookie crumbles on the highest platform of online sim racing at the moment. 15.3 though from Bigazzi. So that's the biggest margin in the top 10 compared to the people behind him. He has 2.5 tenths to Jim Paresis. So that's a big gap right there.
Yeah,
Let's see if
he mostly, sorry to cut you off, but he mostly gained quite a bit of time in the middle sector. He's a tenth quicker than anyone there. And same for the final sector, so that's really where those 2 tenths are coming from.
Alright. Well, I'm really curious to see what he will be doing. Momentarily, it's the turn of Kuba Brzezinski. We obviously know, I don't have to explain how the system works in FSR. We're going to do it driver per driver, and Kuba Brzezinski is the first guy to go out since he is on P10 out of Q1. And yeah, definitely didn't expect it for him to be struggling that hard in terms of getting into Q2. Although, yeah, I say that, and the gaps were remarkably close. But yeah, Cuba already had some podiums on his name this year, and fantastic drives. But yeah, it's maybe just the nature of the track. I mean, if you favor it and if you really like it, maybe that's that 1 or extra 2 tenths that you gain out of confidence and out of boost, hype, whatever. And some drivers, well, might be a little bit meh. I mean, we all got our favorite tracks, right?
Of course we do.
And but, I'm sure Canada is one of these drivers' favorite tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, would be a reason to. Great track.
So here we go then. Kuba Brzezinski, the Polish driver, coming around the chicane and will open his lap there. Very, very aggressive on the exit. Has to be said, here as wide open for the run to turn 1. Pick your braking marker, brakes quite late down to first gear. Keeps in the first gear then for this corner. A bit like Twister, Chris, as well with the first gear. And then accelerating yet again. Run down to turn 3. Pick your brake marker yet again. Down to second here. All over those curves. Having a decent exit. Maybe even touching the wall. I don't really know.
That was a love tap.
Exactly. 0.3 first sector, I think it was. It indeed was. So that is decent. But we have seen 0.1s so far as well.
Yeah, but he's certainly not lacking any amount of confidence or dedication in order to get it here. Look at him just slipping off, and that's going to cost him 2 or 3 tenths because the exit speed and that he will carry towards this corner will be compromised. This is the corner always, and again a bad exit that will translate in a 10th loss as well. I think he should be happy with a 16.0, 16.1 here. And you should be happy with that. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 16.5. I
think I have to agree with you. Brake so late for the chicane. Messes up the second apex. That's another 16.3, 0.4 even. Let's have a look. 0.1. That's 0.1. A surprise.
Well, yeah, well, definitely had more into that and he knows it. But yeah, 16.1, well, he should be remarkably happy because that was absolutely scruffy for his doing. And his reputation. However, it's now the turn of Dion Kostadinov from Eventa SimRacing, obviously the team boss, and he is looking fast this weekend. Did have a little bit of trouble into getting into Q2, but yet again everyone basically had except the top 5. He is showing nice pace.
Let's see. First sector. That's a fantastic first sector by Dion.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully he can carry it on because you normally in Canada see a little bit of, you see 2 kind of drivers that are really fast in the last sector or that are really fast in the first 2 sectors, you know, and that basically decides if you have a low or high downforce setup. Balance is key obviously, but yeah, maybe if Dion has it spot on right, he might be a pole position contender. I mean, couldn't rule him out. 24.309 in sector 2. Well, he really has to do a fantastic third sector though.
324 kilometers an hour, 225, indicating he has a bit of downforce, jumping over again, but
Nice.
getting nicely on the power. This is a provisional pole position for sure, but what time will it be? A 15.4.
Ooh, what a lap from Dion! What a lap, 15.4. I hope for the other drivers in Q2 that they know something I don't, because this is really a flying great lap from Dion here. Blair Disley now, the old and infamous the famous Blair Disley into Formula Sim Racing, is having a shot at of himself at the moment. Has a little bit of trouble going on to the power there, far from flawless. Doesn't have any critical errors, but did lose a little bit of time in there. Let's see what his first sector time will be at 21.4, and that instantly gets him 3/10 shy of Dion Kostadinov. So yeah, hopefully for him he can keep it together and get a high 15 in or something. But this basically dictated this entire lap, that tiny mistake.
Yeah, well described it again, well out of shape
he's lagging.
there. And he indeed lagged.
Oh, maybe that was the server.
It could have been.
Really weird. Hopefully everything is alright for you guys at home watching this. I hope it is. For Blair though, this lap is everything but okay. He's having really trouble getting onto the power early, and you know, having that wheel spin and that correction you need on the steering wheel to keep everything onto the grey bit, so to speak, is really costing so much time. And again, sliding around a little bit. Where will it put him? High 15 would be okay for him. 15.8. Well, considering the lap, I do think he should be happy with that.
Yeah, decent final sector as well, hitting 332, I think, kilometers an hour, maybe 334 even. It's now time for his teammate Journey Simoncic to set a lap time, and here he comes across the main straight. 310 kilometers an hour as you slow the car down for this first corner. Goes a bit deep into there, compromising this second corner. You see it taking quite a wide line, get on the power heavily as well, a bit of oversteer. Once again, coming through this first chicane here. Well, that looked rather stable in my opinion. Go up the gears yet again, pick your brake marker. 21.3 first sector, gets the apex there nicely. Now put the power down. This is tricky, Chris, putting the power down over there. Very easy to lose the rear end.
Yeah, definitely. That's a tricky corner right there. As you have an exit with a well, turn that ends up to a wall. But he's keeping it together for now. A little bit of moments, but doesn't lose, isn't losing too many time through there. Getting that braking spot on and sweet. Now the exit again, a little bit of a wiggle. See a lot of drivers having trouble getting onto the power, and that's really the nature of the track since you run a little bit lower downforce. But let's see what Journey has for us. And a fast right and a fast left. Getting onto the power and doesn't have a moment outside of that corner. So will that be provisional pole for him? It won't. But he is getting close though. 15.657. Only 2/10 from him to Dion. Now it's the time of Mohammed Patel to rise and shine, so to speak. But I'm sure he's well awake and well, knows what the task is ahead of him.
Decent stability for the first couple of corners, coming down the chicane, taking a lot of speed into there. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Didn't really get compromised too much for the second apex going to the left there. This is 21.3, could have been better. 2/10 down currently on Dion Kostadinov, but this middle sector here is key for your lap. Gets on the power nicely there. Quite low RPM on the exit. Tried to keep it stable, and he did so well in my opinion. Up to 7th gear and down to 2nd again for another chicane. Right, left, all over the sausage curve there.
Yeah, but he's winning time. No, I don't think so, because the others all had problems with the exit of the corners, but he kept it together. No wheel spin whatsoever.
0.6, slowest
Wow.
middle sector we have seen.
Well, then I'm pardoning for that, but it definitely didn't look so for me. I don't think he will show a wonder in the last sector. He might even go into the pits then if he's that disappointed. But he's not. He's just taking a flyer here. It keeps it together, even changing back to first gear. But we're all curious to see where it will bring him. A 15.9 even. Wow. Yeah, maybe we missed a little bit of confidence from Patel. Go to the edge. Let's say like that. Who will go to the edge though is Johnny Simon. Has shown us some promising stuff into Q1. Has one lap to really convince us of his potential. I mean, personally, I already know, but as a crowd, we all want to witness a nice Australian back on P1 again, for example. But yeah, it's definitely a chance for him to show what it's worth. He is again. Ooh, look at the twitching on the steering wheel. I would say immense car control, since he did slide, but he didn't lost the car that much. He kept into the tracks.
He didn't quite a bit of car control from Simon there. It did look rather floaty though on the exit. Then the second chicane went okay-ish, but what is the second sector time? It's 24.4, so some time lost there for Johnny Simon, and goes deep into the hairpin. That's gonna cost him a lot of time, so it will compromise him for this straight.
Yeah, definitely, but the DRS will be flicked open, and hopefully for him he will be able to get some time back in terms of top speed. Yeah, he is up there, but locks up the rear wheels there. And now a sprint and a dash to the line. Where will it bring him? It's a 15.789. I do think that's disappointing for him, since yeah, he did have one or two moments. Far from a perfect lap, but yeah, well, he's your P9. He at least has P7 in the back, and it can only get better from this for him. Peter Briljak will definitely be aiming for pole position. However, the first place time of Dion Kostadinov is something to bite your nails upon, because 15.4, man, that's just tremendously fast. Let's see what Briljak can do.
Oh, who's also tremendously fast is indeed Briljak. 0.1 first sec. He was flying through the chicane, which was amazing to see. Also good grip here, look at that. Great grip, great front end, very responsive, got through there quickly. I think he's currently on Dian's time, if I am honest. Once again slowing the car down, this is important. Again, the front end is widening like heaven.
Yeah, freaking Briljak, seriously.
24.3, half a tenth down on Dion Kostadinov, but I do believe there's some time which could be gained in the final sector. Hard on the power, we see all drivers being very, as Chris has already mentioned.
I mean, he's driving, it's looking so smooth, it's looking so easy. Yeah, I mean, I would be staggered if this wouldn't be pole position, if he isn't screwing up. Come on, Briljak. Keep it together now, into the wall of champions, a little bit of a loft up, but he gets away with it. I think this will be professional pole. It will not. How the hell did Dion Kostadinov do a 15.4? How the hell did he do that? Great lap from Briljak though.
Someone who could show us is perhaps Conti. Indeed, a brilliant lap from Briljak. That looked amazingly quickly, and Conti a bit out of shape on the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, that was definitely out of shape. And well, with these margins, that's instantly 1 or 2 tenths, and making that up from almost next to perfect laps like we've just seen from Briljak as well, and definitely even more from Kostadinov. It's going to be tricky, but Conti is keeping it together. Definitely a big name in online sim racing, as we all know. And let's see what he can do into sector 2. Wow, keeps it really steady and together though. Great balance into the car. So it's a 24.2. Nice.
Purple. Half a
really
tenth quicker than Dion Kostadinov. Lost about a tenth in the first sector, so he's not exactly up there at the end on this final sector. I think Conti has a good shot at it. That the final chicane, you can gain a lot of time there. It all depends on your aggression and bravery going into it as well. You can lose a lot of time, but also gain a lot of time. Let's see what Conti does.
Brilliant
a lot of bravery, hard on the power too. Takes not the short run to the line and does 15.6.
Wow. Well, it's not because of that short run, I'm sure, but it is shorter, so it is faster, inevitably. So, nevertheless, yeah, will we see Dion Kostadinov on pole position? We will not see Jim Paresis on pole position. I can guarantee you on a silver platter that was an uncommon mistake of Jim Paresis going into turn 1. We don't see that often from him. He's really cool and conserved, but it happens. It happens.
Everyone makes mistake, even Jim Paresis.
And even Sebastian Vettel in the last laps of the race with Button behind him.
Exactly.
Oh, what a moment was that! Oh my god! But yeah, this will be this will not be pole position. Sorry to spoil it for everyone, but wow, basically Briljak spoiled it by doing a bad turn 1. But yeah, he's trying to limit the damage though. He's not thinking, okay, I'm just gonna get onto the soft tires instead of the super softs and get on to the rest from that. He is going to finish his lap, and I'm curious if it will bring him any position whatsoever. For his sake, I hope it will.
He wasn't too bad in the middle sector, decent 0.3, but as you have mentioned, it was indeed too unshabby. As he takes so much bravery hitting the wall. That was a definite
and
hit.
It's gone.
That's gone. Yep. Right, one more
So
driver
now,
then.
Bigazzi indeed, the fastest guy. Will he do it also in Aventa? So we have an Aventa on pole position. Dion Kostadinov being the team boss. Obviously he hopes that he made the right choice in terms of driver lineup. I'm sure he did with Bigazzi, but I'm not so sure if he's that happy if Bigazzi beats him with a couple of thousands. But yeah, sorry to say, but the first few corners aren't really looking as fast, but that's only the looks of it. It's a 21.3 yards, 2 tenths down already. I think we have our answer. I do think we have our answer. It's Dion Kostadinov on pole position.
I think it's early days.
No. Sorry, but really, it's not going to be it for Bigazzi.
Wait for the first, or for the second sector rather. I think Dion Kostadinov is beatable in the second sector and also the third one. But no, 0.4. You, this is. I think it's about mostly about damage limitation. Where can he put himself? Do you think, Chris? Because it does look quite tight in the.
He should be happy with P6. He should be really happy with P6. Blair wouldn't be happy, but yeah.
See what he can do then. Through the final chicane, hard on the power. DRS wide open.
Nice.
The Jong says
corner,
P6.
though.
I say P5.
Yeah, nice. Great job.
P5
David Greco has left the
Francesco.
race. Rage quit from David Greco, you can't stand it. No, just joking there. But yeah, Dion Kostadinov with pole position. Well, hats off for that. Marco Conti actually saying, lol, nice Dion. I don't think anyone expected it. And I do think that Dion deserves it though. Because first of all, it's not a twister. Second of all, it's not a twister. Third of all, he's been here for some years now, and it's nice to see someone else get some success.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. 0.4, what the lap it was as well. Clearly being
Yep.
a tenth quicker than the rest of the field, which is incredible around a track like this, where margins are so close because of the track length being so, well, rather not long. It's great to see, but let's start the warm-up here. Car is now on heavy fuel.
And if we can go on board with, who is it? Johnny Simon? Like in driver perspective, we might be able to see Kimi Raikkonen there. There he is on the left.
He's standing in the right position though.
Yeah,
Remember
he's standing
Hamilton, Raikkonen?
Yeah. He's keeping a watchful eye if Hamilton is there. Ready to jump like a NASCAR bikey redneck whatever into the car and smash him on his face. No,
Which
that's
year
by
was
the
it?
way
2007 or 8? One of them.
2008 I believe. But I do think we have a word from our sponsor coming up. I'll just wink to Sam Jones if we are ready for that. And we are ready, and Sam Jones is so happy with that. Don't go anywhere or go to the toilet, get some cookies, whatever, and we'll be right back. See you in a bit. Hello and welcome back again. Thanks for sticking with us. The warm-up session is still underway, and after that commercial there's only one question on my mind, Jeroen, and that is, would you buy a Thrustmaster steering wheel?
If I would, if I say no, then I say something against the sponsor, you know. So
No, definitely not. I mean, I can say I never would again. Can be a little bit better, but in terms of design and whatever, it's absolutely flawless. Nevertheless, you can make it as big as you want, and well, if you really want the pro stuff, you know, I mean, who wouldn't want a complete Ferrari F1 simulator, or who wouldn't want to have a day into the McLaren Technology Center and get into that, you know, most secure room in the whole building, and I don't mean the toilet, the simulator room, and have a little bit of a go. I mean. You know, the Red Bull simulator looks awesome as well, but yeah, I mean that would be, really awesome. Nevertheless, though, warm-up is underway. We have 5.5 minutes to go, and people are preparing, well, for the worst weather in years, basically. The start of the Canadian Grand Prix. First 2 and 3 corners are a little bit tight. I mean, it's not like we have seen no accidents whatsoever this weekend. It's easy to get locked up, you know, and like I've said in the earlier broadcast today, if one car gets stepped around and ends up horizontal, that can create a chain of events, and we just gotta hope and pray to what God soever that, well, we're not seeing any of that today. I mean, just wanna see pure battles. You know, a little bit of contact isn't a bad thing. You know, we wanna see some epic fighting, and I rather have people going a little bit over the edge than going well, just in a straight truly train the entire race, right? So, I mean, I remember Valencia. I don't know why, but I remember Valencia 2011. There was one overtaking maneuver the entire race. And I mean in real Formula 1, that is, so. I do think that this circuit will be standing for much more spectacular moments, though. Since it's Canada, we have a nice first DRS zone. The second one is a little bit, you know, over the top. With, you have to put it somewhere, basically. But if you didn't get a decent shot in the first DRS zone, you will most likely not be able to get one on the main straight, so to say. But in strategy-wise, I do think we will see a lot of different strategies. The pit entry and exit here is so incredibly short. If we take the words of Johnny Simon in the pro broadcast seriously, then 12 or 13 seconds is needed to get back out on track with a fresh pair of new tires. So yeah, we're gonna see, I think, 4 or maybe even 5 pit stops. I wouldn't be surprised.
Or David Greco doing a one-stop.
Yeah, no. I think David will be doing something else as well.
Yeah,
But
would be the logical choice here. I mean, you could go for even like a free stop, but it's just not worth it, as you have mentioned, with that short pit entry and just a short pit exit in general, the pit lane itself. Buriak showing good pace at the moment with a 9 3/10 ahead of the rest of the field. It's only warm up. Every single time we say this, but it usually does say something, as Peter Brilliak is trying. Or is launching his car on the exit of the pit lane, trying some race starts. It's a relatively short run to the first corner, but obviously you want to have your first gear set up properly.
Well, for me it was quite a long run to the first corner, or maybe that was because I was P20 or something. I don't know.
But you are always an exception, Chris.
Yeah, I am. Oh. One day you will see me again in the front. One day. Maybe in another universe. Nah. Never. Leitner or Leitner or whatever it's called. He is showing nice pace in the warm-up though. Also kicking into the 119, well, middles, to so to speak. I am curious to see who of the drivers who will start outside of the top 10 are starting on the soft compound. And obviously we have Jim Paresis who aborted his lap, who might be starting on the soft compound. So
I think he is. Yeah, he just exited the pit lane with soft tires, so it would make sense if he starts on them as well. Otherwise, why would you practice
yeah,
on soft?
he is Greek, so you never know for sure.
That's right, that's right.
No, definitely not with Jim Paresis. He races. Well, he basically won one race. He won one race, and he basically got handed one from his teammate Mohammed Patel, unwillingly and undeserved. But yeah, well, like I said earlier, that's how it sometimes goes. But he at least has that win under his belt, and I do think that makes a driver very confident. Definitely, if it's a win in WC.
The walls around this track, Chris, we haven't really mentioned it, but it is obviously very, very close to the tracks, all those walls. Wall of Champions, of course, is a very famous wall, but many others as well on the exits of most chicanes. We think there will be a few drivers here and there getting caught by that, obviously. Concentrated, and a little moment of not being really concentrated can really throw you into that wall and have some damage.
True, and there are a lot of corners that are really tricky on the entry. So to say, let's see, corner, what is it, 5 or 6? You know, where you shift up to third gear, most likely short shift. You know, at the beginning of sector 2. Yeah, if you lose the car and you have a little bit of a moment and you slide, there's not really any room to slide off to. Yeah, let's hope a lot of these drivers will be keeping it together. But we're driving onto the limits of what is able, and obviously with this level of competition, you will have a moment where someone is bound to hit the wall. A lot of drivers are complaining about the lag, including a commentator named Chris de Jong. I mean, I see a lot of lag as well.
Yeah, you can write my name down as well, because there's quite a bit of lag involved. Sam Jones is catching this as well with the broadcast, but hopefully it won't influence anything in the opening lap.
Met de broadcast? Wat voor broadcast? Oh, okay. No, just trolling in Dutch there. Broadcast. Anyway, back to serious business. I do think that this lag has, I do think this lag has to be sorted though, because you know you don't want to see anyone reappearing into the turn 1 when there are 20 cars. So. Journey isn't here at the moment. Someone made a good
point. Yes. Journey is not in the server.
Yeah. And Carlos Martin has to take a leak, so. Well, let's wait for Journey. Hashtag wait for Journey. Get on Twitter, do it. I don't know, but Christopher Kopp is saying okay, so let's see. Journey Simonches has entered the game again, and he is telling it crashed for him as we are reading the comments. I really hope that we will not see any lag. I'm gonna knock on wood again 3 times. There we go. This will, this will give me a little bit of, nervousness or whatever. And I'm sure that the drivers are feeling a little bit inconfident as well. Nevertheless, we're gonna light the fire on this race, and with Dion Costantino from pole position. Can you believe it if I told you half an hour ago?
I probably wouldn't, but I think it's great to see, obviously, and I'm sure you will agree on that. It's Dion Costantino in first. Brilliant, though, has showed good pace in the warm-up. But I hope these guys will have a good battle. We would like to see a fantastic battle, obviously, and maybe people from behind can also mix themselves up in there and have a great fight. I mean, that's obviously what we all want to see.
And that's what she said. But yeah, drivers are lining up on the grid. 70 laps for you guys. Almost Monaco distance here. 78 laps. Well, not Monaco distance. Only 180 kilometers in total or something. This is the 305 kilometers that a Formula 1 event has to take. And well, I think we are happy to be in Canada. lack of boring circuits here. Let's see, everyone is getting onto the grid. Jim Paresis is indeed onto the soft tire, and now it's the moment of truth for Dion Kostadinov, how he will perform in his own event, a sim racing car.
Drivers on the soft tire, another one is Carlos Martin. John-Eric Saxon is on that tire as well, same for David Greco, so they have all come for a different strategy. We'll keep an eye out on that, as indeed Dion Kostadinov started our formation lap. I think it's a great time to run Dion Kostadinov then on pole position with a great lap. Peter Briljak behind him. Marco Conti is then in third. Johnny Simoncic is in fourth. He is luckily back. Bigazzi in fifth. Simon in sixth, all around his favorite track. Let's see what he can do this race. Blair Disley in seventh. Patel in eighth. Brzezinski in ninth. Jim Paresis in 10th. And can you round up the rest of the grid for us?
No, nobody cares. It's on the left. But yeah, it's really the start of this race that's gonna decide most of the race for Dion actually. I mean, if he gets jumped by Briljak, you know, in turn one, there's a good possibility that Briljak is, you know, waving slightly and is saying "tada," you know, see you later. That's basically the style that Briljak has showed us over the past few races, and yeah, it's all to do with that. You're a hero in that first gear setup with how do you call it again? The release
control?
of the but the release
Traction
of the launch
control.
Yeah, exactly, with the override. If you set it up that correctly, then you will be flying off, you know. But this is supposed to be a warm-up lap. Dion Kostadinov is doing a cooldown lap, driving 100 kph, but keeping the pack nicely together. I mean, you don't want to wait 30-40 seconds onto the grid, but that's the unfortunate luxury you have as a pole position person. So.
That was Peter Briljak, wasn't it, who waited on the grid in China and was smoking there and cost his engine in the last lap. So Dion Kostadinov trying
Patel.
to bunch the oh yeah, sorry, Patel it was. Trying to bunch the field here up. And
Yep.
well, try to not do a Patel here. It is bunched up rather nicely, and Dion Kostadinov does a few more burnouts and finds his grid slot.
Yeah, and nice to see that he is lining up his car a little bit more to the right, so he can have a straight start. Alexei Kivala in P21, the last guy on the grid to form, doing some burnouts and is ready in about 10 seconds. But are we ready for the chaos that's about to unfold on us? This is what we have all been waiting for. At least I have this entire weekend. I love FSR so much. And here we go. We have 2 lights, we have 3 lights, the launch controls, and we are racing! Here we go, Dion Kostadinov with a reasonable start. Peter Briljak is not able to jump into the gap. Conti is behind Briljak and up to the inside, but not quite close enough. Is everyone going through okay?
Yes, everyone went through
it
okay.
Seems so. Everyone is okay. Johnny Simoncic steals 3rd position from Marco Conti. Johnny Simon is into the pack as well, manages to climb up to P6. And Peter Briljak didn't get the start he hoped for. He hoped to jump Dion, but Dion had a flawless start.
Yeah, he indeed did a flawless start coming into turn 6. There are a few lock-ups, but still very, very clean. This is great to see. Not a single incident yet.
Not a single incident yet indeed, and David Greco has lost out on the start. If so many people are winning, then some people have to lose. And David Greco is currently into P16. DeWitt in P14, Saxon in Natalie in 12th. So everyone made it out okay and clearly. This is really great. Conti is gonna get a visit of Bigazzi, I think, because Bigazzi is really close.
Bigazzi is close, picking up the slipstream here as well, down the straight slipstream, obviously being very effective around a big straight like this. Marco Conti being jumped then by Journey Simoncic, and further action in the background as well. Bigazzi not close enough yet. There are a few moves in the background. Kuba Brzezinski on the inside of Jim Paresis.
Yeah, no! David Greco collides with Patrick DeWitt. David Greco collides. That's horrible. If we can go to the replay and rewind it from there, David Greco was behind Michi Hoyer, who on his turn had a quite good run into Patrick DeWitt. And, well, yeah, a little bit sloppy actually. He was cautious, David Greco was cautious going into that corner, but he, yeah, I don't know, he messed up a little bit in my opinion, but could be something wrong elsewhere. He does have suspension damage, and I do think that's the end of his competitive day for David Greco, unfortunately. And yeah, he's sliding all over. He has suspension damage. Really, really ugly for him. Definitely not something he deserves.
Patrick De Witt being alongside with Daniel Brewer, and they make contact for the entry of another chicane. Patrick De Witt having to let Daniel Brewer go though for the moment, but definitely someone who's in the picture at the moment. Lost another position to Brewer, now getting under attack by Ernesto Di Loreto.
Yeah, and Brilliak is really close to Dion. He will not be close enough to make an attempt in. He will just have a little bit of a sneak peek and just apply the pressure. But if he will get DRS and he's as close as he was, then he will surely get a shot in there. So really nice to see. Johnny Simon hunting for Bigazzi. Everyone is, well, not yet sorted into their grid slot. Still a lot of fighting going on in this first few laps of this race. Great to see.
It is indeed great to see. Luckily not many incidents. We saw obviously David Greco, but the first couple of corners were very clean, which is quite, I wouldn't call it rare, but it is a bit special around this track, obviously, with those corners being all tight. And sometimes incidents just happen, you know.
True that. And Patrick De Witt now on Daniel Brewer. I think he's gonna go for it. I know Patrick, and he's gonna dive into the inside. No, he's not. Ooh, tempting for him though. He was really close. But he keeps it together for now. I don't hope for his sake he has some damage, but that was a weird incident with Greco. Going back to the top 10, Kubert Brzezinski made up one place, I believe. In P9? No, he started P9, never mind what I said. Patel though, P8 and struggling to get past Disley. Brilliak now being really close. Here we go. Here we go. Inside line is what Dion takes. Goes a little bit offensive to the left. Dion will be forced to let this one go, and Peter Brilliak with the DRS still out of this corner is taking the lead in lap 3 of this race, or the end of lap 2. Brilliant move from him, and nice driving from both of them actually. Dion let him live.
Yeah, how many times do we see an incident there where drivers just turn into each other? And both good spatial awareness from Dion at the inside line, but couldn't keep it stick around the inside there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Brilliak had the momentum with him using the DRS as well.
And I'm afraid this is the last we will see we will ever hear of Peter Brilliak. You know, but I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I mean, we deserve a fight, you know, but a nice fight for a podium is good as well. But Brilliak is just in a league of his own this year. He's such a fantastic driver to look at. Not in terms of action and spectacular overtakes. I mean, he basically makes 1 or 2 overtakes, and then you won't see him. Simmons is now trying to catch up to Dion Kostadinov, but behind him there's Conti and Bigazzi, who are still fighting it out with themselves. And behind that there's just an entire train, even up towards, well, basically John Eric Saxon in P13. So yeah, nice action here.
Yeah, they all get DRS, so it's very hard to overtake one another. Except for Conti, obviously, they all have DRS.
Good point.
That neutralizes the effect, so not a lot of action here at the moment. But if someone makes a mistake, you've got to capitalize on that, especially around a track like this. You won't get many chances probably, but if you get one, you've...
Who's that? It is Daniel Brewer who is going out of this race, it seems. Past the start-finish line.
De Witt also.
De Witt! Oh, Patrick. Oh.
Wow, Patrick Airlines there, holy.
Yep. And that is just a misjudgment from Patrick. Yeah. He almost got back into the track. Imagine him collecting someone. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's a sour apple for Patrick to swallow, but I do believe that's his own flying fault. Yeah, come on, Patrick. Man, oh man, oh man. Well, that's that then. Daniel Brewer out of this race because of Patrick De Witt. Sorry to say, Pat, but that's the truth out of observation. Back to the front leaders though. Dion Kostadinov half a second behind Peter Brilliak. And certainly didn't give up on anything yet. I mean, he's trying every inch of the way. And fortunately, Brilliak isn't like disappearing outside of his view.
Luckily not. He's able to keep up quite a bit at the moment, using DRS obviously as well. Don't count out Jeroen Simoncic. Last lap he was 4/10 slower than these guys, but still he might be trying to save some tire wear and maybe try to attack later on in the race. Who knows? Behind
Indeed,
that, it's a train though, as you have mentioned.
Yeah, indeed, and that's really nice. That's what I wanted to point. Basically, from P4 to P10, there's only 4 seconds in between. You know, 3.5 even. So everyone into a slot. Everyone is having DRS except for Marco Conti and Brilliac, obviously. The gap now being, I mean, Dion has DRS, but the gap is now 9/10. He really has to climb up there, otherwise he will disappear in the horizon. Brilliac that is. But are we gonna see some action here? Johnny Simon is relatively close to Bigazzi, but a little bit too far away. Late braking from him though. Can Bigazzi get a move into Conti? I don't think so.
No, he's
just
too
this
far
small
back
straight. Yeah, that DRS straight is a little bit useless, but it's there at least, you know.
It all depends as well on as Conti goes a little bit deep. I think Conti is starting to slightly lose it a bit. Gap is a bit smaller here and there every lap, but if you the point I wanted to make is that you can pass around it straight, but the driver in front of you surely needs a bad exit out of the chicane. Otherwise, as you have said,
yeah.
it's there, but that's really it.
Indeed it is, and Johnny Simon is patiently waiting his turn since Conti and Bigazzi are fighting in front of him. But he has to be careful that he's not getting an attack from Blair Disley's address. Yeah, still, it's just like I said, it's just a train, and everyone is just waiting for the other guy to make a mistake because they're all up to their limits. Now Johnny Simon is really close to Bigazzi. Will he exit, and will he have the better 7th gear ratio? Because you can get, you know, a higher top speed. Well, doesn't matter. Here we go. They both have DRS. Fair battle here. Simon on the outside. This should be a done deal for Bigazzi if he manages to slow the car down efficiently, and indeed he does so. Both have DRS again.
Simon is rather close though on this main straight.
Here we
He
go.
might get a move in. Does
Felipe Massa,
Bigazzi go to
Perez, here we go. No Felipe Massa and Perez move there, but looked like it though. Nevertheless, they keep it together, and maybe next time around for him. This of course allows Blair Disley and Patel to close up even more than they already have been. And now Peter Brilliac, by the way, has a 1 second gap to Dion Kostadinov, so he is out of the DRS race effectively. Good for him, but bad for Dion, who is still doing a terrific job in 2nd place. Never mind that.
Yeah, absolutely. Dion Kostadinov having a good weekend here so far, but also sad for the spectators, I guess, to see that that gap is above a second right now. But who knows? Maybe towards the end of the race, that's for sure. Back to the battle for P4 though. Bigazzi not close enough, I think, coming through this hairpin. So important to have a good exit out of this hairpin. So it leads onto this big long straight. Obviously DRS here too, but Bigazzi once again seems too far back. Same for Johnny Simon, who will not get a move in this time, I'm afraid.
Indeed he won't, and we are 1/10 distance of this race, and a lot of action we have seen already. Thomas Satterley is braking severely to Carlos Martin. Has to take avoiding action even. That's how late he braked. Keeping it together fortunately, but man oh man. So 1.3 seconds now between Dion and the leader of this race, Peter Brilliac. So definitely DRS range gone for the moment. Norbert Leitner taking Danny van der Niet. Oh, is that Satterley? Satterley, what happened? What happened with Satterley? He went off. Ooh, what happened there? If we can see the replay. Holy.
That's some kind of...
I wouldn't say bug, but
I think it is.
Would it happen in real life though? That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I do not think so. It's quite unlucky for Thomas Satterley though, as he dropped down to 15th place. Had a reasonable race, driving around at P10, P12 I think he was before he had that.
He will never underestimate the curbs in Canada again. Because this is what they can create. They can flip your car. But and here he goes. He's getting under attack by Danny van der Niet. Danny van der Niet on the outside. Tries to get the better exit now. I mean, he should be. Ooh, will he be?
Bigazzi going side by side and make contact. contact is made. Bigazzi goes through though. Sorry to cut you off. Carlos Martin is out of the race as well. And Johnny Simon on the back of Bigazzi. Oh, sorry, Conti rather. They make contact down the main straight.
And Johnny Simon onto the grass. Epic driving here. 4-5 wide almost. Yeah, all drivers now in the, let's see, in the respectively positions 4 till 9 are gapped up in between 2 seconds. So this is really getting some action now. I mean, they're all determined and they all wanna get this in the front ASAP. And hopefully we won't see anyone having to forfeit their battle, because it just got really close, like 30 seconds ago.
And guess who is in the DRS range of Peter Briljak again? It's Dejan Kostadinov, not giving up.
Nice. Good
Great
job,
to see
Dejan.
that. Yeah, exactly. He was actually 6/10 quicker over the course of last lap. I'm sure Peter made a mistake though. But still good to see. Yes, Conti loses a bit of time to Bigazzi. And now all those cars obviously want to get by ASAP with Johnny Simon trying to do so right here. It's crucial. DRS, and Conti does have DRS. That neutralizes the effect that Johnny Simon will get. And I think Simon will be too far back.
Yeah, he will be too far back for this one, and like you said, it neutralizes the effect for the guys behind it, and in a way that's good. You know, I really don't like DRS, still don't like it that much. In some circuits it's absolutely necessary to get a shot in or whatever, but yeah, at least it's still pure racing.
Ian Kostadinov 4/10 behind Peter Briljak as they cross the line. Of trying to put more pressure on Briljak, and it's definitely working, but it could also be an effect from the tire from Briljak, maybe not as healthy anymore as Dejan's tires, who knows.
Yeah, indeed, and none of these drivers can afford a mistake at this point of the race. Blair Disley is knocking onto the door of Johnny Simon, and I mean, all of a blink of an eye is just what it takes. Mohammed Patel there steadily waiting for his move. I mean, he's still driving in P8, didn't get involved into that battle in front of him, but I don't know how he is top speed wise. He's up there.
I think someone who is taking advantage from this train is Jim Parizes. He's like 1 second back from this train, but he is obviously on a soft tire, so he's making use of this train which is going on right here. Remember, he's on the soft, so Jim Parizes, I think, doing a good job. He's also lapping quite well.
Yeah, he manages to stick with the pack, so to speak, and the rest of the pack is entirely on super soft tires. So he is his advantage here can be severe. I don't know what their strategy will be if the super soft tire is the preferred tire for a lot of these drivers. Obviously, you have that little bit of extra life in the soft tires, but to be honest, I don't think it will make a severe difference with the super softs. I do think people will go, or the drivers, the majority of them will go one stint on the soft tires and then just leave it, go to the super softs. But I might be proved wrong.
Journey Simocic is, well, I think he is closing down to this group here. Might have DRS this lap. No, he doesn't, but he's certainly close to it. So might see a three-way battle here for the lead. As Dejan Kostadinov once again has DRS on Peter Briljak, but that's too much of a gap.
And we see the pit limiter in lights. Let's see if Peter dives into the pit instantly. Yeah, they both go into the pit. Ooh, and Dejan is instantly closing the gap there. Nice job. Braked way later for that pit entry. And a lot of drivers pitting now. Johnny Simon, Jim Parizes, Peter Briljak and Dejan, as said.
Trying to go for the undercut, obviously, while being in the train. Kuba Brzezinski is now in 6th, but obviously he was like, what was he, 9th or 8th before those guys pitted. So he is sort of also keeping up with this train, but that's it.
Yeah, and the rest of the pack, what are they gonna do? I mean, some of them are going to pit. Mohammed Patel is going to pit this lap, I'm sure. But the rest are just in a battle of their own. This is gonna shake up a lot of things.
Exactly, and Jim Parizes, who was on the soft tire, also pitted. As Severly goes side by side with Noverleitner and contact mate. Both spin off the track down to turn 3. Oh my god, terrible. It's bad to see. Leitner exiting the pit lane.
Oh my god, well, a little bit of a racing incident there, to be honest. I mean, both drivers gave each other the right amounts of space. There was just a little bit of unfortunate contact. Yeah. I do have to say that Satterley was the one going left after, you know, but yeah, not my job to make decisions of that, but based on my judgment, yeah, just a pure racing incident. Nevertheless, we still have another DNF with us. Disley now into the pit, as Hoyer makes his pit stop as well. So let's see now, Danny van der Niet in. And Jeroen Simmons is still leading this race. Didn't go into the pit this lap around. So he might be looking to do some extra laps. But Peter Briljak behind him
Disley is off. Sorry, Chris. Disley went off at the pit exit.
Oh no.
Braking too late. And that was Disley.
Well, then we see that experience isn't everything apparently, but that's definitely something that cost him 4 seconds and a lot of positions there. Jim Paresis and Enrico Di Loreto managed to jump him, so that's instantly a good momentum lost for him. Really unfortunate as well. And Jeroen Simmons just has his pit light on. Bigazzi does not, however. Conti does, Patel does, Brzezinski doesn't. So maybe some drivers on a 4 or a 5 stop here.
Yeah, someone keeping on going. So the pit light is on Bigazzi, keeping on going. Conti is in the pit lane though, so he's going to switch to another set of super soft or soft. That's the question. What I found interesting too is that Jim Paresis pitted from the soft tire already, so he definitely didn't go long on those soft tires, which is what you would expect. But a different strategy for Jim Paresis, that's for sure.
Yeah, maybe he burned him up a little bit too hard. But yeah, let's see. Really, a lot of drivers here, especially drivers like Patel. I think Patel is thinking like, I'm gonna stay out and try to catch up with the leaders eventually if I manage to jump one pit stop. You know, even though it's only 14 seconds to make a pit stop, maybe that one pit stop is actually worth if you extend your stint with 2 or 3 laps. But in those 2 or 3 laps that other drivers are on fresh tires, you will lose, well, at least 3 or 4 seconds. You know, if you have super soft tires that are 12 laps old or 1 lap old, you know, the difference in that is 1 second a lap for sure.
Peter Briljak really knocking on the door of Kuba Brzezinski. This is another great battle here. Peter Briljak will have DRS on Kuba. What is Kuba going to do? He will not, well, definitely not give up that place easily. And Briljak too far back, but Briljak really has good grip, so it's really strong in the corners.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really happy that the dirty air that we had last year on this time and day has vanished, because that was just driving into a wall. But yeah, Cuba now not giving this spot up for free, and this is really hurting Peter, because he's basically driving the pace of the old tires that Cuba has, and this is really great for the guys in front that are not able to pit. But yeah, Patel still has to pit, and is only one of within a second of Briljak, so that's already the jump of the pit stop that is gone, and it's only 4 laps. And here Briljak goes. No, he is not. He thought about it, but definitely not the right move indeed. And here he goes again. He can just wait for the DRS, but he can also park it alongside here. No defensive moves from Cuba, but now he basically has to, because he's on the inside. Peter is back to 4th.
Dean Costinel straight away trying to attack as well. Kuba Brzezinski again. He will have DRS, of course, because he was behind.
Here we go.
Never mind. Here goes
wide.
It's more important. 3 wide.
3 wide going into the corner. And oh, Dion, what are you doing? You're so close to the back of Peter. Tremendous driving from Dion. I would have betted my money that he would have hit him. Great car control from these guys. Holy. Great driving.
Did he even give a love tap or not? It did look rather close, of course.
Yeah, it was really close, and Cuba was like, okay, I'm not having any of this. You guys sort it out. I want to finish this race, and I want to fight another day. and he sure is going to. And he might have the best spot now in P5 because there are a lot of drivers that are fighting for position. One thing goes wrong and he still has the room to make a flawless exit out of you know, a terrible accident, so to speak. Definitely not a fantasy I want to see, but yeah, it could happen. We have seen it this year already.
How about Journey Simulchich? Still keep on.
Yeah.
He still drives 16 laps into this stint.
He's doing a
Pit
fantastic job.
Still on, but he didn't pit before. Let's see what he does now. And still in the mid 90s.
Yeah, he's going
that
in.
is not bad.
Yeah, he's going in, and with well, basically 17 laps completed after this one, he is doing a fantastic job because Peter Briljak's tires are yeah, well, 3-4 laps old, you know, so it's that advantage that he carries. If he manages to stick with that, oh, he's going to the soft tire. So yeah, let's see. Patel into the pits as well. So is Brzezinski. And let's see, Patel, before the entire rolls of pit stops started, he was 8th, and he is coming out on 8th place as well. With the soft tires though, in front of them, people are fighting with, well, Johnny Simon is on softs, Bigazzi is on softs, Conti is on super softs, and Briljak is on super softs as well. Of Briljak I meant Jim Parisis. Parisis is really doing a fantastic job actually.
Oh yeah, certainly his 4th place for Jim Parisis. Started on the
started
soft
10th.
tire.
Yeah.
It was great that he managed to stick with that train which was in front of him before. It definitely benefited him as he is now on the soft tire and in 4th place. He has done an amazing job so far.
Indeed he has. And let's see now. Jim Parisis is taking precaution into the corner. Took a little bit of a weird line to me, but well, he's in the driver's seat. Nevertheless, a lot of these drivers getting DRS once again. Patel is, well, hopefully catching the lot, but like we said, he is on the soft compound, on the harder compound of the two, and with no DRS and all these drivers basically towing each other, might be hard.
Dean Konstantinov 2/10 back on Peter Briljak. That definitely, that battle definitely didn't cool down. And they're still going at it for sure. Maybe Konstantinov can get a move in very soon again, but maybe it does require a mistake from Briljak too. We'll have to see. John-Eric Saxon on the door of Di Loretto and actually going for the inside of turn 3. John-Eric Saxon, a brilliant move.
Wow,
Clean
nice.
as well.
We have seen that a lot from him. On the moments where you don't expect it, there's John-Eric Saxon diving underneath. You know, great from him. Unfortunately, it's only P11, but it is something. He's certainly doing a better job than I will ever do at the moment. Peter Briljak though steadily in the lead again after the first round of pit stops and with over a second lead, but Jan managed to get within a second at the DRS detection point, so luckily for him he still gets DRS now. Johnny Simon also gets DRS on Parisis, but it will be only to defend from Bigazzi, who's relatively close to him.
These guys are on soft tires as well. Obviously, Jim Parisis already went on to the soft.
Yeah.
These guys
And
do
Bigazzi
so
is
now.
braking so late, and Simon almost losing the car there. But the gap isn't there for Bigazzi to capitalize on it. It's just a little bit of a loss of traction he had. And Bigazzi has to be careful though that he isn't burning up his soft compound tire. Because if you overdo that in the dirty air, you have to put in more steering. You know, your input in the steering is a little bit more, so it will create more friction, hence, you know, you burn the tire quicker. So hopefully for him he can conserve it. Obviously knows what he's doing, experienced driver. Well beyond expert level. But aren't they all here?
Yeah, this is World Championship. You are bound to see that obviously. Simon struggling though on the soft tires. Bigazzi still finding him close behind. And a little bit
Locking
of a lock up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Johnny Simon not having the happiest time. He won't have DRS I think this lap, so
Nope.
Bigazzi, I think he's gonna go for it.
Yeah, this will be a move for sure. Johnny Simon will go defensive quite early, and indeed he will. But he does carry a lot of top speed. Will Bigazzi go for it? He won't. And yeah, there's the braking. Hard on the brakes there. tries to stick as close as possible to him to get a shot in here, but the top speed of Simon is really well, obnoxious. It's really fast without DRS even. He managed to get Bigazzi behind him whilst they both had great exits, and Bigazzi even had DRS, so forget about it with Simon on DRS. Now Brzezinski rounding out the top 10. Also a driver who seems to struggle a tiny little bit more than the rest of them on the soft compound. Disley on the softs, Patel on the softs, only Conti in that lot is on the super soft tires, and it's crucial for him to get past Bigazzi and Simon. But it's well, almost hard for him to keep up with them, even if he is on the softer compound.
It could compromise his race badly if he doesn't pass them, and it seems to be very hard for him as well. So this is maybe it would have been better, but using hindsight, that is obviously to go for a set of soft tires perhaps, which those guys did as well, because it definitely costs him here, because he cannot get past and use those super soft tires to their best, you know, the use, the benefit.
Yeah, not lots of changes in the order at the moment. It's a lot of these drivers waiting for another guy to make a mistake. And at the moment it's Johnny Simon who is well qualified for that. Don't wanna burn you or flame you here, Johnny, but you are looking rather unstable for everyone at the moment. I mean, just fighting the car along, and maybe he is just anxious to get onto the super softs again. But obviously 2 or 3 laps on the medium compound is not worth it. Or medium soft compound, I mean. So yeah, he just has to bite through the sour apple and just get into the super softs as soon as possible again to pick up the speed again and the confidence. Simon here again struggling on the exit, but Bigazzi is in DRS range, but can he capitalize? Simon doesn't have DRS, the gap is just too big.
The best opportunity for him was when he really was close, but even then he couldn't get him. Yeah. It needs top speed.
He needs a mistake from Simon here. Simon is flawless in terms of setups, in terms of a setup. I mean, you obviously know, I guess.
Yep.
But yeah, he's packing a lot of top speed right there.
Brzezinski finding a bit of pace, opening up a new battle for us to watch.
Ooh, Simon sliding. Simon sliding, he is losing the momentum. This might be the opportunity that Bigazzi has waited for. No, he's not diving in there, and Simon is actually defending it as well. But he is looking quite slippery and sliding along the track. And he's going defensive even for this corner. Would be very opportunistic for Bigazzi to dive in there, because if you do, then the other driver does not have any space to go anymore. But you know, sometimes people just ask for it if they're not defending at all. But yeah, and again a little bit of a lockup. Yep, and this might be compromising his exit quite severely. He does have the toe already, but here he's just gaining time at the moment, and it's now the DRS, but he won't get it, I think. Yeah, the top speed of Simon is just too big. No, the gap is just too big.
Yep, exactly. In the background though, Kuba Brzezinski on Blair Disley going side by side into the chicane.
Nice move.
Brzezinski takes that position. Stable on the brakes.
Yeah, great move from Brzezinski there. Tries to get past Disley and does so successfully. And now the hunt is on for him towards Patel, who is also not really that confident on the medium of, I say it again, the soft compound. So confusing with super soft and softs. And there we go, Conti did hit the wall of champions last time around. The impact was, well, not really severe, but well, maybe enough to knock off a wing end plate for sure. Did hear a little bit of a sound, but nevertheless the front wing is still attached. And yeah, David Greco has retired his car. What happened with him? Yeah, he just parked the car. The suspension damage was too severe, I think. and he decided it's no longer a thing to continue on and trot on, since yeah, the car's just undrivable after that incident he had.
Again, Bigazzi on Simon. Is he too far back though? Has a look on the inside, tries to put some more pressure on Simon, but Simon currently not really cracking on that pressure. Again, he is swerving all over the track, putting the power down almost. And it's fascinating to see, but somehow he is able to keep that car in front of Bigazzi. He has another lockup, Chris. This is how do these lockups affect the tire? Is it a flat spot, but also in terms of tire life?
Yeah, well, definitely it's shredding once you lock up, as we all know as drivers. But for the ones who don't, I mean, a few lockups and you basically lose, well, a few tenths for sure a lap, and you just don't have the grip, the confidence. Mistake is easier made. So yeah, I do think that Johnny Simon is looking forward to the next round of pit stops.
Talking about the next round of stops, as he went a bit deep again. If he pitted around lap 13, I think, for this.
Who are we talking now?
Johnny Simon.
Ah, okay. Yeah, well, he definitely needs 3 or 4 more laps in order to make this stint worth. Otherwise,
12, so.
Yeah, well, he's looking for a 4 or 5 stop basically. Still don't know for sure for some of these guys. Jim Paresis is into the pit. So he's the first to make his second pit stop. Outside of the top 10, that is. Of inside of the top 10. So, and still the train is forming. Simon is doing everything, uses every rule in the book to keep Bigazzi behind him. Definitely a fast Italian guy. But will he crack the Australian here?
Leitner attacking Kweekel. This is for P15. Leitner easily. Oh, he jumps over the sausage curb and Kweekel gets him back. This is obviously a battle for last position in the race at the moment, but Leitner thought he had him. Overshot the corner though. Tries to go around the outside here. Is that possible? It certainly is possible if your name is Norbert Leitner. He takes P15 away from Kweekel. Little battle at the back of the pack. For now, I think it's better to focus on the front though, with Simon again coming through this hairpin, and Bigazzi behind him again. The rear end looking rather unstable in that car. It probably is his rear end. I mean, as a rear pit. Yep. He has lower rear downforce. It helps him down straight, but not putting the power down.
Yeah, for sure. And well, it's a matter of time before someone cracks for sure. I mean, I don't imagine them just driving off into the end of this race. However, it's the next line of pit stops at the moment. For Peter, it's important to go out come out in front. Indeed, he is doing so successfully, so good job from him. Great timing to come back into clean air and make this stint work. Dion Kostadinov now basically has to answer that if he still wants to contest for this win. Because if he is staying out for 2 or 3 laps more, I wouldn't see any tactical advantage in that. And I do think he's gonna lose a lot of time. And well, if you do so, he will lose in total 4 or 5 seconds to Peter. But yeah, he's only 8 seconds behind.
This is something Conti didn't manage to do. He pitted last time round, but he pitted earlier than the guys in front of him who were on the soft tire while he was on the super soft. You know, this shows perfectly. Peter Briljak went out ahead of those guys and can now work on his stint. While Conti was being promised, as Bigazzi is super close behind Simon now. This might be an opportunity for Bigazzi. If it is, he's gonna have to take it as Dion Kostadinov is in the pit lane, but Bigazzi on the inside. Johnny Simon for the final chicane. Here we go.
And he makes the move stick. Finally. And there was no way Simon was gonna defend that. It was just his time to be passed, it seems. And again, a big lockup. I think we will see a pit stop from Simon in the upcoming 1 or 2 laps. Wouldn't be surprised at least. Instantly Bigazzi is gone. I mean, he has no trouble once he's passed to pick up the pace even more and just basically drive off from him.
Absolutely, only in 1 second time he already gained a couple of tenths, about what is it, 6 tenths? 7 maybe even.
And Kostadinov now went back on track with a fresh set of soft tires, but unlike Peter Brilliak, who managed to get back on track in clear air, Dion Costadino finds himself behind Patel. So this is gonna hurt him. This is absolutely gonna hurt Kostadinov. Let's see, he does have DRS, but so does Patel. And I'm really curious to see who has the better top speed of this lot, if Dion can make a difference with that. Dion is really looking confident and conserved, and also really fast. It's just for him really unlucky that he finds himself back on track with 3 cars in front of him on relatively old tires compared to his. So yeah, he's gonna lose a lot.
He indeed will lose a lot. This is hurting him badly, I would say. Coming through the chicane here. There's a brilliant camera shot on the exit of the chicane. I hope Sam Jones, our cameraman, is catching that sometimes. It really is brilliant.
Oh, Johnny Simon spins off a little bit. Yeah, indeed so doing a Vettel, and has to give Patel the room he deserves. And Patel instantly closing that door, like saying you're mine. Oh, nice Alonso helmet from Patel, by the way. I instantly noticed now. Loses a little bit of traction as well, but not too much. And he is through. And I think Johnny should consider a pit stop by now and try to undercut them, because actually, he won't lose that much time. If he pits 2 laps earlier and gets onto the super soft tires, I mean, he would definitely get a shot in for Bugatti. Mohamed Patel decided to turn his pit light on, but he will not go in just yet. So let's see what the response of Simon will be in terms of strategy. I believe he should go into the pits ASAP and get a fresh set of super softs and try to undercut Bugatti, because the gap is now 2.5 seconds in 1.5 laps where he passed him.
He definitely is losing too much time. He also has Dion Costadino knocking on the door behind him. They actually made contact going into turn 8, which is that chicane. Dion Costadinov really close now. Will he go for the inside? Yes, he does. Good move from Dion Costadinov. Now they need to leave each other space, which they do. So no, they don't. They don't give each other room.
And he has to wait for John-Eric Saxon to pass as well. If we can see that on the replay on board with Dion. Dion obviously went for it. There was a gap. Oh, and he was well upon in the inside. But they just made contact, maybe a little bit too optimistic from Dion as well, because he wasn't past Johnny Simon. Johnny was still there on the inside and he just steered in, hoping for him to make the corner. But yeah, that slide, that loses a lot of grip as well from your tires. You get a flat spot and your stint is basically done. So the pole position from Dion Costadinov, I mean, it would be a tremendous achievement if he would turn this into a win. But it will be next to impossible, in my opinion. He gets passed as well now by Kuba Brzezinski, is it?
Conti.
Or no, Conti. It's Conti indeed. So that those tires have been shattered. You can assume that for sure.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, Chris. Obviously with that spin you lose a lot of tire life, as you have said. Who also lost a lot of tire life was obviously Johnny Simon. He decided to finally go into the pit lane and battle in the background. Roberto and Hoyer, they have a quiet time so far. Almost contact made, but this battle at the back so far. What an unfortunate moment.
Yeah, definitely. And Johnny is now back on track with fresh super soft tires, and I'm sure he's gonna blow everyone. And well, let's see what he can do. Race is almost halfway. We are on lap 31, and well, 35 would be the halfway point. But we already have seen so much action, and there's still so much more to come, since all these drivers are, well, not on a similar strategy, so they are bound to meet each other sooner or later.
Yeah, and that's also the case for Jeroen Simancic, making a stop less than Peter Brilliak, still driving here on the soft tire. Let me have a quick look when he pitted. He pitted in lap 17. He's still driving on those soft tires. Will probably pit quite soon, but is on a different strategy. One stop less than Brilliak. They will meet each other as well, as you have mentioned, at some point during this race.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And Brilliak now onto the back of Simonsic in about 2 laps time, I'm sure. No surprises there with fresh tires. And I do think that all these drivers are, like I said earlier, just going for that one stint of soft tires and then just take super softs all the way. So let's see now, Marco Conti making nice progress as well on P7. He is looking bound to catch Kuba Brzezinski, who is just under 3 or over 3 seconds in front of him, and it's looking like Conti is making jumps towards him. Let's give it some time.
Gatsi's still driving too on those soft tires, by the way. Keep an eye out on him. Still going.
And Paris is doing a nice job as well. Obviously started P10 and finds himself in P5 at the moment. Well aware of a podium spot. And well, Simonsic and Brilliak are finding it out their own way. Because it's not the first time that Simonsic has led the race. Obviously Brilliak is going to pass him now. But maybe, and just maybe, Journey can hold him up a little bit to ruin a stint. Even if it's just a little bit. Would still be worth for him. If he does one pit stop less in the end.
Yeah, and if they do meet here, I don't think it will be the final time they meet, because Simonsic will make a stop soon. We'll probably switch to the super soft tire, and then he will have the advantage, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan and
nice
he's in clean air.
Nice grip from Peter Brilliak though. I mean, he is not even sliding a little bit. He's just controlled to every single corner. He's looking so confident.
And Simonsic in the pit lane, there we go. So Pete Brilliak catched up. Didn't want to lose time in that battle and decides to go into the pit lane. Will be interesting to see now whether he rejoins in clean air. It's crucial for him to rejoin in clean air. He goes to the super soft tire, but this is a crucial stint now coming up for Journey. Simonsic will end up if somewhere around Kuba Brzezinski, I think. Probably in front of him, yep. So it will be close even with Paris's. If he gets in front, and he does so easily, then, well, Simonsic is having clean air in front of him right now. Fabrizio Bigazzi up front though, but he should be pitting as well soon. If he does pit soon, then I think this could work out quite well for Simonsic.
Yeah, let's hope so for him. And he's certainly looking quite steady. 3rd place coming out of the pits, indeed. And that's really crucial for him. On a fresh set of super soft tires. So he's the guy with the freshest tires at the moment. And well, Brilliak, his super soft tires are already 8-9 laps old. So basically he's gonna gain time again on Brilliak. And Brilliak isn't coming in for another 4 or 5 laps, I think. So a smart guy, that Journey, I suppose.
Francesco Bigazzi having his pit light on. See whether he does pit. If he does, he will help Simonsic help him out quite a bit. Let's see what Francesco does though, and he does indeed pit, so clean air for Simonsic now. So Bigazzi is in the pit lane and probably goes for the super soft tire too. Not too many battles going on right now. Kuba Brzezinski comes into the pit lane as well. Kostadinov is still at the back of Conti and trying to apply a little bit more pressure on him. Too far back to overtake at the moment, and that's basically the story for all of these drivers. Too far back at the moment, not too much action at the moment. Gazzi exiting the pit lane also in clean air. Well, I have to correct myself on that. It did look like because of the camera shot, but he is definitely behind Johnny Simon and Blair Disley, who is having quite a quiet race today. Blair Disley.
Yeah, definitely, but well, he's still in a nice scoring point position. Of point scoring position, I should say, the other way around. But yeah, well, let's give it a little bit more time. We're bound to go halfway in this race, and we already seen some action in the first part. And maybe they have, or maybe they are saving the last or the best for last. So let's keep our eyes and fingers crossed for that.
Might be a pass here with Kostadinov being rather close to Conti. Conti being really aggressive though, putting the power down, and did so nicely, instantly pulling away a few tenths from Kostadinov. Kostadinov flicking on that DRS button, pressing it. Having a look on the inside, but that is really it. Cannot get past at the moment. What about here, this main straight? Oh,
he's
Konstantinov loses it!
Oh, and that's definitely some front wing damage for him. And also a lot of ego damage and a lot of damage in terms of track position. Comes back to P9 and again this big slide. Oh, this is just going from bad to worse for Dion. After the terrific pole position with a 1:15.4. Just going horrible now in the race. Epic.
It's one of those mistakes where we have warned for before, losing a little bit of concentration, and it's a track which really punishes you, especially with the walls so close to you as well.
Yeah, that's what you said earlier. I mean, they're just so close, and once you do make a mistake and start sliding there, you don't have anywhere to slide off, and I do think this will leave some trace of inconfidence with Dion for the remainder of the race. I mean, it would be logical.
Yeah, and damage of course as well. It's definitely front wing damage. Would you say suspension too, or was the impact just too light for that?
Maybe just a little bit of front wing damage or nose damage. But yeah, Patel's into the pit though, trying to make something work. Let's see where he comes out of. He sure gets back into the pack. Ooh, even behind Brzezinski, I think. Or will he be able to jump him? This will be close. Kuba Brzezinski on the inside. Kuba Brzezinski. Ooh, Mohamed Patel just taking it. Whew.
Crucial for him to do that.
Yeah, and what an action we are seeing with every little bit of a moment when people are going into the pits and meeting each other again, and that are on similar strategies but decide to stay out for 1 or 2 laps more. I mean, it's bound to have a nice happy ending at the end. Maybe not for 1 or 2 guys, but certainly for 1 guy. At the moment his name is Peter Briljak. Will it be the same in 32 laps time? Let's find out.
Bardesli having to defend from Johnny Simon, who was rather close to him. Bardesli having a great top speed though. I think the highest top speed out of anybody here on the grid. Also putting the power down nicely. Johnny Simon is going to have to wait again as Dion Konstantinov comes into the pit lane. Mostly replacing those tires which were damaged before because of the spin. Loretto is in as well. Simonchek about half a second quicker right now per lap compared to Peter Briljak, which is obvious because of his tire choice. Someone who's been driving well in a bit of his on his own in the last couple of laps is Jim Paresis, but he has done a great lap, a great race so far, finding himself now in 3rd place. Who would have thought that before the race started?
Yeah, definitely, and it's after all the pit stops, I believe. So. He's doing a terrific job, a terrific Greek Tsatsiki job, and obviously looking for the podium. Also to keep his title hopes alive, because Peter is dominating at the moment, but Jim does have some wins and is still looking strong in terms of the championship.
Battle though is for P5 if once again these drivers come down the back straight. Johnny Simon going around the outside. Bardesli having the favorite inside line and Johnny Simon tries it. Contact was made between the two.
Blair loses out on track.
Yeah, and they did a big oversteer mode for Blair.
Yeah, they keep it together though, and on the tarmac, on the grey part. And Francesco Bigazzi there happily to be joining them. And tries everything, even a little bit of an undercut, tries to create a little bit of pressure by getting into the right mirror of Johnny Simon. And will it be effective though? He's certainly looking eager to get past as soon as possible, because he is. Dirty Air really coming in to play. Yeah, it's really close indeed. Epic, epic.
The thing is, it's quite close in that section, but once the drivers go through the chicane in turns 8 and 9, you pick up the dirty air a little bit and you start to lose a bit of time. And it's hard to gain that time back in this hairpin here and then position yourself for an overtake. As we see Disley locking up slightly, Johnny Simon may have a chance here, although Disley's exit is always wonderful, really, out of the hairpin. And I'm afraid that Simon is again too far back as Jim Paresis enters the pit lane right now.
Indeed he is. Let's see where he fades back into, or out.
Right in that battle, right behind Bigazzi does Jim Paresis exit and joins this battle. Good for us to see, good for the spectators.
And that's what I wanted to say.
Watch Saxon as well behind there, you know. He has been closing up a little bit as well, really sneaky, but he has joined this too.
Indeed, and like I've said earlier, Saxon is a guy who is making rather rat moves, diving into people's corners when they no longer expect it and have no choice but to give way. And will we see a repeat of that as well? I don't think we would see it on Paresis, since he's the one with fresh super soft tires, freshest tires on track at the moment. So, but oh, this is gonna be promising here. Johnny Simon with the stop speed. I'm sure he would be able to do something. I don't think Bigazzi has a chance to get closer since he has DRS. Johnny Simon here on Disley, perhaps in his wildest dreams. Well, he is getting closer quite dramatically. Now they obviously have another build to settle from what happened 2 or 3 laps ago. Ooh, Simon taking avoiding action. Ooh, oh my god. Johnny Simon there miss-swallowing himself into the braking point that Disley carried, and had to take avoiding action there. Maybe a little bit of too opportunistic, or a little bit panicking that he might have crashed into the back of Disley. He obviously wanted to avoid that, but he did lose 2 spots in that move. Epic.
It's a great battle though. Disley definitely not having the best pace ever, but this train has been developing over the last, 15 laps or something like that, and now has turned out to be a pretty epic battle as the leader pits today, or to pitch now.
Yet again today. Simmons did do a great job into closing the gap. Obviously, both Peter and Journey are not on a similar strategy. Simmons is really trying to extend his stints as far as he can without losing too much time. And I'm really curious to see where we are at in 15 laps time, because Briljak, his tires will be old by then. And if Simmons is pitting in 4 or 5 laps time, then he will still have relatively fresh tires. And that's basically the game those are playing. It's a matter of time to see who made the right call and isn't ending up with 20 lap old tires at the end of this race. I mean, I think Briljak will pit once more after this, you know, and that's it. And Simmons has to, take that into account.
Plus, Briljak has gone for the soft tire, and Simmons is still on the super soft, so Briljak will go for the super soft, obviously, after the next pit too. But this is crucial here right now for this race. Journey Simocic, if he wants to win it, I'm pretty sure those guys will meet at some point towards the end of the race. But he needs to defend like there's no tomorrow, you know, and keep that place. Johnny Simon, in the meantime, being attacked by Mohamed Patel. This should be a move for Patel. Simon making a late move there. Patel on the inside. Simon trying to break late, but Patel having the inside line, and that is a good move.
Good job from Patel indeed. And will Simon be able to do it? I mean, Patel has DRS. Simon doesn't have DRS, and Simon is still catching him. You know, I mean, he did have the slipstream, but you know, I'd rather have DRS than a slipstream, to be honest. So here we go. Johnny isn't giving up. He's fighting every inch of the way for this spot, basically. I mean, he dropped out a little bit after Q2, but in front of him there are still a lot of drivers battling. Paresis, Bugatti and Conti are all fighting for this last podium spot. And it's the job of Simon and Patel to close that gap and get into contest with these guys. Yeah, Dion Kostadinov is well gone, unfortunately. Really unfortunate for him. And ooh, Jim Paris is almost kissing the back of Bugatti there. It's really so close, and Bugatti now gonna try to make a move work on Conti. He's going on the outside. He already passed him in front of before of the corner, and he, well, basically has an easy overtake, push to pass with the button. And that's why I don't like the DRS that much. I mean, with a slipstream that would have been an epic battle, and this is just a button, and you know. But nevertheless, great move from Bugatti. But
Paris is on the inside, contact mate. Paris spins. Paris spins, touching the inside of Conti. Oh, Jim Paris will not be happy with that. And the tires.
Not sure. Ooh, yeah, that's the stint well ruined. Yeah, I do have to say that he didn't got so much room from Conti though. Conti could have gotten a little bit wider, but he gave him a little bit of room. But maybe Jim was already thinking, okay, he will let me go once I just, you know, let him see that I'm dedicated to this corner. But yeah, he didn't.
Conti lost another place to Mohamed Patel,
Yeah.
on the inside of turn 8, and now under pressure from Johnny Simon as well. Will Johnny Simon go for the inside? It does look like for the hairpin over here. Kuba Brzezinski, watch him as well, trying to have a look. And Johnny Simon
Brilliant move from Simon.
For exit, but he does make indeed the move to stick, as you have mentioned.
Yeah, and it's now Conti with his pit light on. Simon in front of him with his pit light on as well. And oh, idiot! You idiot! Oh my god! He didn't went on the brakes at all. Holy! Crazy Australian! Oh my god!
That was... that is insane. Completely
That was
misjudged.
idiotic.
Completely misjudged and misjudged.
Yeah, completely. Holy! Well, he did. Oh, he did collide with the wall. I mean, if he would have hit him there, I mean, that would have been a ban right there for at least one race. I mean, I'm sure he's scared himself
Paris
to
is
death.
off! Paris is off again! It now kicks off over here on the grass on braking for turn 5. Rejoice is very careful. Oh man, all kicking off. Paris is just losing the car there. Probably
And that's
misjudged
maybe
the
because of the
dirty
flat
air.
spots.
Yeah, also
might be as well. Oh my god, yeah, oh yeah, as well. Yeah, no, indeed, that's just opportunistic there. I didn't see the move, but yeah, dirty air coming into play, but at least +1 for trying for Jim. That's what I say.
Interesting to see as well that Simon somehow managed to not speed, into the pit lane on the entry. Slowed the car down with a big lockup, but well, heartbeat or heart rate rather to what is it, 190, 200 maybe?
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah, holy man. I did not see that coming from Johnny, but we have to take in the fact that it's what, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning in Australia
I think
now.
the race is at 4 in Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning there. So yeah, +1 for even driving, really. But yeah, really, what a race it's unfolding to be. We still have 25 more laps of madness for you guys. Brilliak now getting behind the backmarker, who's getting out of the way quite successfully. Good job, backmarker. And during Simmons, it's now only 2.5 seconds separating the law of them both. Yeah, interesting choice from Brilliak to go to the soft tires. I think he already got rid of the soft tires, didn't he? Or is this his first stint of softs?
That's a very good point.
I believed he did it earlier, but I might be mistaken. Nevertheless, it's definitely not the faster compound. But he will go back to the pits once more, and he maybe just wants to play it safe. Definitely not a horrible thing to do, but I do think that the preferred tire, or the preferable tire, is the super soft one.
What he could also be trying to do is use this soft tire to close up just that little bit more, and then try to attack using the super soft tire. Maybe that would give him more grip and in that way increase his chance of successfully overtaking Simoncic by using that extra little grip they provide.
Yeah, exactly. But it's all a question of time. But I think the biggest question is who will take the last podium spot. Bigazzi is driving his lungs out, and Patel is well behind that with 3.5 seconds to spare, or just under 3.5 seconds. Kuba Brzezinski made terrific progress these past 1 or 2 stints, basically going from P9 to P5. And well, Saxon, believe it or not, he's driving in P6 at the moment. So definitely the grid has been shaking up quite severely. Definitely.
Kostadinov still having a reasonable pace in 8th position. Obviously he had a few issues. He certainly has the pace. It's rather frustrating for him, well, mostly, to see what exactly happened to his race. I mean, he looked very stable before.
Yeah.
Challenging for the victory, and then now in 8th.
Yeah, and here we see Dion Kostadinov. Hopefully, he tries to get a move in to Marco Conti. Marco Conti, who is on older rubber and on slower rubber as well. And Kostadinov, yeah, hopefully doesn't have nose damage from that little bit of tap earlier into the wall, which basically lost him a really good result. He is still looking for a decent one, and he is looking forward to taking Marco Conti, and not without surprises. Conti is struggling. I'm basically forced to go for it. Oh! But that, and Disley instantly comes across. This is not the day of Dion Kostadinov, maybe only in the first part of the day when we had to qualify. Disley instantly goes for it as well. Disley making up 2 positions in 2 corners.
Yeah, definitely taking advantage. Taking advantage from it. And look at Paris as well. Those are all trying to take advantage from this. Paris is having to go on the grass, and Kostadinov with DRS on the inside.
He will take this position for sure. But that was really unfortunate with Kostadinov. You know, the point was... Oh, Conti is going into the pit, fair enough.
Oh, and Johnny Simon spins!
No, Johnny!
Contact with Jim Paresis. I have to look at that in a replay for sure. What does he do?
Yes,
keeps going, here. Goes through the gap to the wall, and he's... What? Johnny Simon again spun, touching the barrier.
Yeah, but I do like to see that from Jim Paresis' point of view. Yeah, Jim tapped him though. Jim tapped him. Yeah, that was a little bit messed up from Paresis, to be honest. But that's my opinion. Doesn't really matter what my opinion is at the moment. But I do think that he could have left him any more room. But because he couldn't make a move stick there. If Jim Paresis would have been determined there, I mean, no way he would have made a move stick. Okay, another shattered result for Johnny Simon. Really unfortunate for him, and definitely not what he deserves out of that, because he left in well enough space. It was just the Greek dedication there that went a little bit outside of the proportions. I think that is help.
In the meantime, Peter Brilliard catched up to Journey Simoncic, so this is the battle for the lead then. They still have 1 more stop to go, both of them, as John-Eric Sexton is stopping, talking about stops. But Brilliard rather close, and obviously on those fresher tires, soft tires, but still able to catch up.
They are able to do 19 or 18 laps on a fresh stint, maybe even on super softs, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
that's possible.
So Journey basically did the best job he could into getting in front of Brilliard, and he is basically needing to, he needs to defend, but he is giving it into a silver platter. This is it. Brilliard has passed him, and instantly Journey is going with the pit in. He's now trying to go for the undercut, I believe, but he does carry a lot of top speed. Will he be able to go for Brilliard here? Brilliard having DRS, he's going into the pit. Yep. Brilliard had DRS, but this is nice for Journey, since the last corner didn't went spectacularly well for Brilliard, since he was thinking Journey wants to take me on the outside. Journey is indeed going to super softs, and now the ball is in Peter's area. Because Peter still has 1 more stop to go, but he is on relatively new tires, still only 8 laps old or whatever. He can still make a go, but if he waits too long, you know, the gap that Journey creates with the super softs now, with the fresh super softs, might be too big. Here's 12.4 seconds. That's the gap, and that's going to shrink these upcoming few laps until the point where Peter Briljak decides to call it quits and go into the pit for the last time of the day. So really interesting to see now what Peter Briljak is thinking. Will he go into the pit instantaneously and leave the battle open, or will he go into the pit in 3 or 4 laps time? I mean, 12.3 seconds now. Let's see what it is over when we come over start finish.
I don't think he is going to pit. His pit light is not on, so he doesn't respond instantaneously.
12.1 at the moment, so that's 2/10 the last sector. I don't think he will wait longer than 2 laps. I don't think he will wait longer than 2 laps with this pit stop. Let's see now. Obviously he has a plan up his sleeves, I'm sure. Okay, Journey now, crossing start finish line. We will get another time reading, and it is 11.7. So that's 4/10 as well. In the past 2 sectors he made up 6/10. This will certainly not become unnoticed by has gone unnoticed by Peter Briljak. Obviously they have, and he's sliding around as well. I do think we will see Peter going into the pit this or the next lap. He's losing so much time at the moment. Journey has to keep it together as well. He cannot overheat those tires. He needs 19 clean laps and fast laps as well to make this win work. Peter might be using that to his advantage in just pitting with 13 or 14 laps to go. He's already locking up, nothing like Briljak, like we are used to seeing him do. But yeah, if he can keep the gap steady, I mean, last lap around he just lost 1/10. Or this lap, he only lost 1/10 so far, so might be something else he's thinking about. So Simmons is now onto the chicane, onto the straight, and he has DRS from a back marker, it seems.
Yeah.
So yeah, 11.4 now. I do think that the I did think that, I hear crashes. Who is that? Who was that? It wasn't just me, I definitely heard it.
Don't see anything, Chris.
Oh, so weird. Maybe someone just tapped the wall slightly. Could be the case. Nevertheless, it's now 11.3 seconds between Journey and Peter. Peter is still not having his pit light on. And again, I hear people making contact. This cannot be a bug. Who is it?
Danny van der Niet has no front wing.
Oh,
So
well,
that's probably where it comes from.
Oh yeah, the chicane. He crashes the chicane. Wall of champions there. Unlucky for Danny van der Niet. Had a, well, basically remote race, driving in P14, but a clean race so far. But no longer, because he is driving without a front wing, and he has to do an entire lap without it. And I'm sure he will finish, but he has to make another pit. Bugatti in the pit as well.
Peter Briljak, I think, made a mistake somewhere. 9.7
Wow.
suddenly the gap.
Indeed. Let's see. Well. Oh, Bugatti has a problem with his pit box since there was one guy in front of him. This will lose a lot of time. He will lose a lot of time because of this. No way anyone can help that. I mean, sharing a pit box is not preferable, but you know, it will certainly get him out of his rhythm. Definitely not what you want to see. I mean, this basically cost him P5.
We were talking about his previous race and saying that we didn't really see it that often this season, but now it certainly happened. And Bugatti being our first victim in that case, and a poor moment for him to see that happening, of course. He finds himself behind Paris even.
Yeah, true.
9 seconds gap between Briljak and Simoncic. Again, another few tenths, and Briljak hasn't responded yet. Keeps on going. Gap will probably go into the 8-second mark right about now as Journey crosses the line. 8.4,
Yep.
another
Wow.
6 tenths in the final sector.
This will not be, yeah, and indeed, Peter Brilliak has turned on his speed limiter. That's not a good idea in the lap at the coast. Oh, Danny van der Niet has decided it's to call it quits. Suspension damage has caused the best of him, and he needs to retire. Patel into the pits as well, and that rhymes. Comes back on track, hopefully for him in front of Bigazzi. Bigazzi Patel here, and again, this is only to do with the blocking in the pits of Bigazzi. Those 2 seconds cost them basically an effective 4th spot right here. And Patel doing a great job, effectively drove around P8 and around lap 10, around lap 20, now finds himself in P4, and in front of him is Blair Disley. I would feel it so nice if Blair would have taken a podium. But he needs to pit again. So yeah, Peter Brilliak is in the pit as well. He will go to the super soft compound, no doubt. And no doubt that Journey Simonsis will take the lead. However, for how long? For the remainder of this race? Let's find out. Let's find out indeed. Journey Simonsis already into turn 2. And Brilliak now. Ooh, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Well, this is something that Journey would have signed for. His tires are 5 laps old. Journey of Peter Brilliak's tires are obviously as fresh as can be. He basically has, well, 4.5 seconds now. So coming across the first sector, 4.5 seconds in 15 laps. Well, he basically can't afford anything, but well, he has a gap. It's not like that he's already hugging his gearbox, for example. As Jim Paresis comes out of the pits and out of the top 10 almost. He is in 10th place, so a little bit unfortunate for him. Hopefully for him there are some drivers that still need to pit in front, but wouldn't put my money on it too much. Blair Disley is about to make a pit stop, I'm sure. And behind that, Patel and Bigazzi are on fresh tires. I believe Patel's on fresh tires, isn't he? Yep, he is on fresh tires. 2 laps old, so no worries there. So Blair Disley is going to fall back with this pit stop, but obviously does the right thing. If your tires are shattered, you have no choice. You have to go in and make a next stint work, and I'm sure Blair will do so. Hopefully for him, he will come outside in front of Cuba, but that's a little bit too opportunistic. Not even in front of John Eric Saxon. Not even, yeah, he is coming outside before Conti. Good job, Blair. Now keep it together, mate. Keep it together. Go, go, go. 3.4 separating Brilliak and Simonsis though. That gap is shrinking quite dramatically.
Going wide. Going wide in the hairpin.
Who?
Simonsic. Under pressure. Went deep into the hairpin. Costing him definitely a few tenths. He's trying to push, but it's not working at the moment. I would rather go for the consistent pace rather than pushing the whole time. Going all over those sausage curbs too.
Yeah.
Simonsic definitely struggling. It was 3.1 when they were at the end of the second sector. Watch this. 2.5. And that was like, I think that was like 1.5 seconds in 1 lap time. So Brilliak absolutely pushing, 13 more laps to go. There's no doubt he will be on the back of Simonsic if you ask me. But can he get past? That is the main question. Brilliak having amazing downforce. Maybe not as great top speed because of that. So, you know,
indeed.
Try to defend. Yeah, it would be nice.
True that indeed, and I did think I saw some positions changing with Jan. No, never mind what I just said. Or was it Johnny Simon?
Simon is pitting.
Simon is pitting at the moment indeed, making his last pit stop for this race. A little bit disappointing for Johnny how this race turned out. I mean, he had great promises, but he didn't. I wouldn't say live up. He had some uncomfortable moments as well with Jim, that spin. I really think Jim could have left him more room, but you know, it happens, it's racing. Unfortunately for Johnny, who didn't stack up a great result yet this season, he still needs it tremendously big, also for his own confidence. We all know he can do it, it just needs a little bit more time, but he has the pace, he has the dedication. Same for Cuba Brzezinski, who is turning out to be a fantastic day. He's driving in P5 at the moment, whilst he started in 9th place, I believe. So now Patel's getting under pressure by Bigazzi. This Italian wants it. He really wants it, or nah, not that badly that he dives into turn 1. Would have been an absurd dive bomb as well. Brilliak now 1.7 to Simoncic with 11.5 laps to go. Well, I do think we will see a fight for P1 for sure. Hopefully not without DRS.
1.2, another half a second gain in the middle sector. I mean, Brilliak has got the pace, that's for sure. But you know, driving towards one driver is one thing, but passing him is another thing.
True.
And, it is relatively hard around this track if you don't have got the downforce, and Journey is reaching 322 kilometers an hour, which is decent in the end of that straight over there. So I would say the race on, you know, battle on. 1.2 before, and it is now 1.1.
Oh, we will have an exciting end on our hands. That's for sure. 11 laps to go.
Patel and Bigazzi again coming down the main straight. Bigazzi behind Patel, too far behind. Definitely not doing a dive bomb here, that would be outrageous of course, as Peter Brilliak is now definitely within a second of Journey Simoncic. That will open in a few seconds, but is 10 laps enough for Simoncic to stay ahead? Peter Brilliak. Bigazzi still behind him, or still behind Patel I should say. Can't do anything at the moment though. A few battles opening up here, also for 9th spot. With Jim Paresis, who dropped all the way down to 10th place after his unfortunate moments, let's call them like that. And obviously battling with Dejan Kostinov, who also had unfortunate moments during this race.
Yeah, let's see indeed.
Bigazzi on Patel though, looking rather close here. Bigazzi not going to go on the inside because Patel defends it. But Bigazzi will probably have the better exit if he straightens up his car. Big drift, or big slide rather from Bigazzi, but he is rather close here. Let's see, opens up the DRS, no position change for the lead at the moment, but here comes Bigazzi.
Well, no. Maybe not at the moment. Oh yeah, here he goes, Bigazzi on the outside, brilliant move, and Patel has no choice but to let him go. Great move from him. And at the moment it's Simoncic who's really feeling the pressure of Peter Brilliak here. Peter Brilliak, who is doing everything he can, and Dejan Kostadinov having a fight with Jim Paresis as well. Obviously they want that extra point scoring position, but we should not keep our eyes off the lead of this race. Peter Brilliak and Journey Simoncic are gonna fight it off, gloves off, I'm sure. DRS will come into play now for Peter. Ooh, and really close, calculated driving, and they make contact a little bit. It seemed like Journey slowed down a little bit. I wouldn't say on purpose or anything, but Peter was like, oh dude, what are you doing? Just, you know, go. Yeah. But yeah.
The grip though on Peter's car is just fascinating to see. Even in the dirty air, he's able to stick his nose right under the gearbox from Simoncic. It's amazing. But look at the straight line speed. It is not really that great.
Well, no, but that's the momentum as well that he didn't carry because of the exit. But Journey can keep it simple as well. In corners where there is no room to overtake and you are that close behind someone, it's not illegal to play tricks with someone and go later on your throttle. It's a defensive style. You know,
absolutely.
Like if he does it right now, he compromises the exit of Brilliak, but it would be great defensive driving. I think Journey Simoncic is doing a fantastic job here, and this is definitely what we want. Peter Brilliak has to work hard for his money right now, and yeah, this is giving a smile on my face. Let's go.
Jim Paresis passing Dejan Kostadinov for 9th place, but the focus is on this battle definitely. 9 more laps to go. Simoncic, oh, Peter Brilliak sticking his nose on the inside. is dangerous to do. It's the natural line from Simocic to go back to the inside there.
Yeah,
You're losing some momentum yet again.
Yeah, and this might be a little bit of giving Briljak a little bit of extra caution, because he's like, okay, this guy's really unpredictable at the moment, you know, I can't really, you know, be not sure of my business. I have to be sure. Maybe he can be absolutely sure this time. The defensive line will be chosen by Journey. He keeps his car as wide as possible. The outside line is chosen by Briljak. Simocic leaves some room. An excellent move from Briljak here. He did it. He did it with a flawless move. Hats off. Hats off and a big applause here for Briljak.
I think there's no other way to describe that as a flawless move as you have done, Chris. Around the outside, having the inside line advantage for turn 2. What a brilliant move from Briljak. And yeah, that is amazing to see.
And Journey Simocic finds himself behind Peter Briljak. Now's the question: what would Patrick de Witt have done? Maybe we could ask David Greco, who we have a pre-race interview with the next time around. That's all to then. I would ask him about that accident some years ago he had with de Witt. But for now though, it's still not a done deal perhaps. Although Peter has got 5 laps younger tires than Simocic does. And in terms of raw 1 lap speed, and definitely in the remaining laps, I do give my favors to Peter, but you never know. You never know. Right, Patel? No, that's not fair.
Oh, talking about Patel, he isn't letting Bigazzi go, that's for sure. Still on the back of him, opens up the DRS here. This battle is still going on for the final podium paying spot. Further back is also a battle, I think, for 8th place, looking at the map. Not looking at it from the broadcast or TV or whatever. Looking at Patel here, who is too far back though. For P8 it is Conti and Jim Paresis, who passed Conti down the back straight already before the corner. So Paris is climbing another position up to P8.
Good job from him.
Was in P10 a few laps before. It's now Kostadinov in P10 who go on Conti. Too far back though for turn 1. Conti seems to be struggling a little bit towards the end of the race here.
Well, not surprisingly, I mean, he did give it everything he has, so... and, well, wouldn't say surprising to say, but almost the entire top 10 is within 30 seconds of the leaders. Yep. Which is just under like half a second a lap. There's a difference. That does seem a little bit much, but really on a track like this, it isn't. In terms of race pace and different strategies and tire compounds. So it's remarkably close together today. The only one who lost out today and is the biggest loser in terms of positions is Dion Kostadinov, unfortunately, who finds himself now in P10, getting taken by Conti. And Dion Kostadinov, I don't get any timing from him.
No, me neither. I already clicked on him, but still driving luckily. Battle for P5. And Disley having amazing top speed. Here comes Disley on the outside of the chicane. He goes for it and makes the move stick. P5
Go Disley!
Disley!
Go Disley!
Kuba now on the back of him again. Here we go. Disley has the DRS. Kuba has slipstream.
Oh, Cuba, don't do it. That's indeed. Be wise, my friend. Be wise. And indeed he is. So there might be another opportunity for him. Goes a little bit wide, Disley is, but nothing severe there. If I think Cuba might be thinking, okay, I just have to stick with him, you know, be in that 1 second gap and try to make the DRS move work. But yeah, Disley is a tough cookie, as he just found out, and a wide corner. Lol. Hopefully these guys keep it together. Bigazzi is still fighting it out with Patel. I thought after Bigazzi would have had to pass on him with Patel that he would have you know, driven off a little bit. But yeah, Patel is still hanging on. There's still a podium spot to divide. Doesn't seem likely that Germany Simocic is gonna hand over second place, nor is it likely that will lose out on the journey again. I mean, it's 2.5 seconds outside of DRS range. Peter has 5 laps all of fresher tires. Not in a million years that Peter will give this away.
Oh no, definitely not. It's good to see though that Simocic with a different strategy is able to well have challenged him.
Oh, I hear crashes again. Sorry, but
laps.
Who was that? People making some contact. I can't see anything, fortunately, because I think we are pretty much, you know, we've ran out of crashes. We have seen some really weird, but sometimes we hear some crash noises, and well, 99% of the times we are right. We have a faster than speed car into the pits. It's Norbert Leitner who decides to go for the fastest lap of the day, I suppose. But yeah, he's 1 lap down now, nothing to gain, nothing to lose, so never mind that.
Kostadinov off the track, behind Marco Conti.
Ooh.
Very hard, beating moment. I think it's Johnny Simon who has. Yep, Chris, you are right. I think with the crash noises, Johnny Simon is going to retire. I'm telling you, lost his front wing. And there we go, a DNF for Johnny Simon.
Unfortunate, really unfortunate. The guy must be tired as well with it almost being 6 o'clock there in Australia, but or 5:30 or whatever. At least early in the morning, not late in the night. It's early in the morning for him. So yeah, definitely. I wish him such a good result since he's so determined and he's also fast. Definitely over 1 lap. But maybe it's just a little bit of consistency he's missing. And obviously, if you let me drive at 4 or 5 p.m., you know, I mean, not that I finish a lot of races already, but then, I mean, no, not a chance. Not a You have to have a little bit of sarcasm, you know, a little bit of self-humor.
The thing is, you can be quick over a lap, but in the race it's so important, especially with this tire model to you know, save your tires maybe here and there. Don't always show the best you have got. And well, at some point of the championship as well, you need to have the momentum and the luck on your side as well to perform well, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, and also, we have a fight here on our hands. Jong Kostadinov taking the inside over Marco Conti. Marco Conti going defensive, but not defensive. Squeezes his way too back into P9. Great job from him. And Marco Conti wants to get back at him, but I don't think he is able to. Dion still had DRS, and Conti runs wide a little bit. What I wanted to say though, with the tire models that we are using, sometimes it's not even faster going to a fast corner with your throttle, you know, nailed to the floor if it's possible. Like Barcelona turn 3, for example, you know. Yeah. But if you do so, then obviously you create more power, more to burn up easier. You might be, you know, in some corners want to give that 1 or 2 tenths up in order to have a quicker stint overall and continue on for 2 or 3 laps more. Absolutely. So yeah, it's but it's hard sometimes, because if you see that count of the timer right under your screen counting down because some guy behind you is catching you quite severely, you know, it's difficult.
It's hard to keep composure at that stage.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have 2 more laps to go. 1.5. It has been a terrific day already. I mean, the action that we have seen, really terrific. But yeah, Jeroen Simicic does do a terrific job. I don't remember his starting position, but I do believe it was outside of the top 5, wasn't it? Don't know though.
Might have been actually 5th, something like that.
Nevertheless,
5th or 6th,
place,
something like that.
Yeah, 2nd place is definitely something he would sign for, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He made his free stop work.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Dion Kostadinov, so unfortunate for him. Cuba Brzezinski has done a nice job as well. Blair Disley, same job for him.
Patel trying to attack Bigazzi. This battle is still not over, definitely not. Final podium paying spot. Patel opening up the DRS. Watch this, Bigazzi goes defensive. Oh, Patel trying to do some kind of dummy. Bigazzi having the inside line though. Patel, oh, they go side by side into the final thing. It's not possible. They are still side by side. Holy cow, Bigazzi having the out going as they are now going side by side. Who gives up? Nobody will give up, I'm sure. Bigazzi trying to go on the inside, keep it around the outside. Can't do that though. What a battle. Nobody wants to give up.
I do think it's a little bit cheeky though from Patel, since he cut at the corner effectively.
Yeah.
that he tries to go for it again, but he must feel he was being compromised after he wouldn't have any room. Yeah. Well, fair enough. I rewatch it. I mean, it's just a battle until the end, and Patel just taking the longest straw, so to speak. It's not over yet, though. It is almost over for Peter Briljak. Just 2 more corners to go, and he's in the Wall of Champions. No, just joking, David Greco. If you're watching, your driver is gonna take this victory home. Here comes Peter Briljak to win the Formula SimRacing World Championship Grand Prix in Canada, and he is a happy man. Same for Journey Simmons, I'm sure. And Patel here, well outside of the range from Bugatti, and Bugatti is already crash you off public server style. No, he's not. Then it's Patel who is taking this victory, and Bugatti without a race ban. But now Patel here taking the podium spot. So it's a Twister 1-3 and a Go Speed driver in between, being the cheese in the sandwich. And what a fantastic day it has been. Bugatti comes home in P4, Blair Disney in 5, Brzezinski with a good job in P6. Saxon will be very satisfied with P7, I think. Parisius with P8, a little bit disappointing. Dion Kostadinov, I'm not gonna touch that with a 9-inch pole after he got pole position. So what a race it has been. We have been treated well today.
We certainly have been, especially in this WCAs. A few highs, a few lows for a few drivers here. But it has been providing a lot of action here for us, and that's the thing where we are obviously happy with. Or in the end, 11th missing out there on the top 10, obviously. But
there we go, Francesco Bugatti. You got the chicane, Mohammed. Well, you didn't give me any room, Bugatti. You know, that was basically racing.
Yeah, you pushed me off the track.
I understand it. I mean, the emotions are still relatively high, I'm sure. But yeah, let's see what the next race will be.
It is Austria, I think, in 2 weeks' time. So a track I don't think we have driven on last year, Austria, Spielberg.
Yep. Yeah, the 14th of June we will have Austria indeed. A1 ring, the Red Bull ring. Definitely a circuit that I like. I mean, I have driven it in SOZ last year. It was really, really nice to drive. Not as nice as Suzuka, like I said earlier. I see we're even going to Singapore. Not looking forward to that. But yeah. Nevertheless, though, we would like to see you guys in 2 weeks' time in Austria. We have had a wonderful day today. I hope you think about that the same. We had a brilliant winner again, Peter Briljak. Hopefully, you know, we get another winner besides a Twister racer this season. But we're bound to do so, aren't we, Jeroen?
Yeah, we saw today Journey Simoncic definitely making progress. I mean,
yeah. He did a fantastic job.
I mean, best of the rest. If you look at the gaps too, you know, Mohan Patel 24 seconds behind Briljak, and then Journey only 4 seconds behind. So yeah, he definitely tried it. And I think the difference though was that a lot of drivers were stuck in traffic while Peter, you know, had that she built up in the first stint and made use of that extremely well, and that's why he deserved the win today, I think, and why he got it too.
Indeed. So we would like to thank you all for watching, especially Sam Jones, who's always begging for compliments. So give him a compliment. No, that's a joke. Sorry, Sam. but no, thanks for watching. Thanks, Sam Jones, for the cameras. Thank you, spectators, for viewing us brabbling on about the racing, because it's really the drivers here who show us how it's done, and we have the joy of commentating on that. And we would love to see you guys in 2 weeks' time. For now, have a great Sunday evening and a nice night, basically. So bye bye, and see you in 2 weeks' time.